Shocking nature of many scenes in this film, it is definitely not recommended for the squeamish.
American Heritage Dictionary, the New College Edition, defines pulp as a soft, moist, shapeless mass or matter, or a magazine or book containing lurid subject matter and being characteristically printed on rough, unfinished paper. A normal Denny's, Spires-like coffee shop in Los Angeles. It's about 9 in the morning. While the place isn't jammed, there's a healthy number of people drinking coffee, munching on bacon, and eating eggs. Two of these people are a young man and a young woman. The young man has a slight working-class English accent and, like his fellow countryman, smokes cigarettes like they're going out of style. It is impossible to tell where the young woman is from or how old she is. Everything she does contradicts something she did. The boy and girl sit in the booth. Their dialogue is to be said in a rapid pace, his Girl Friday fashion. Nah, forget it. It's too risky. I'm through doing that shit.
You always say that. The same thing every time. Never again. I'm through. Too dangerous.
I know that's what I always say. I'm always right, too. But
you forget about it in a day or two.
Yeah, well, the days of me forgetting are over. And the days of me remembering have just begun.
When you go on like this, you know what you sound like?
I sound like a sensible man is what I sound like.
You sound like a duck. Quack, 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 quack.
Well, take heart, because since I'm never gonna do it again, you're never gonna have to hear me quack about how I'm never gonna do it again.
After tonight.
The boy and girl laugh. Their laughter putting a pause in their back and forth. Correct. I got all tonight to quack. A waitress comes by with a pot of coffee.
Gonna get anybody any more coffee?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
The waitress pours the young woman's coffee. The young man lights up another cigarette. I'm doing fine. The waitress leaves. The young man takes a drag off his smoke. The young woman pours a ton of cream and sugar into her coffee. The young man goes right back into it. I mean, the way it is now, you're taking the same risk as when you rob a bank. You take more of a risk. Banks are easier. Federal banks aren't supposed to stop you in any way during robbery. They're insured. Why should they give a f***? You don't even need a gun in a federal bank. I heard about this guy. Walked into a federal bank with a portable phone. Handed the phone to the teller. The guy on the other end of the phone said, "We got this guy's little girl. And if you don't give him all of your money, we're gonna kill her."
Did it work?
Fucking A, it worked. That's what I'm talking about. Knucklehead walks in the bank, with a telephone. Not a pistol, not a shotgun, but a fucking phone. Cleans the place out, and they don't lift a fucking finger.
Did they hurt the little girl?
I don't know. There probably never was a little girl in the first place. The point of the story isn't a little girl. The point of the story is they robbed the bank with a telephone.
You wanted to rob banks?
I'm not saying I want to rob banks. I'm just illustrating that if we did, it would be much easier than what we've been doing.
So you don't want to be a bank robber?
Nah, all those guys are going down the same road, either dead or serving 20.
And no more liquor stores?
What have we been talking about? Yeah, no more liquor stores. Besides, it ain't the giggle it used to be. Too many foreigners own liquor stores. Vietnamese, Koreans, they can't speak fucking English. You tell them empty out the register, and they don't know what it fucking means. They make it too personal. We keep on, one of those motherfuckers gonna make us kill them.
I don't want to kill anybody.
I don't want to kill anybody either, but they'll probably put us in a situation where it's us or them, and if it's not the non-English speaking motherfuckers is these old Jews who've owned the fucking store for 15 fucking generations. You got Grandpa Irving sitting behind the counter with a fucking Magnum. Try walking into one of them stores with nothing but a telephone. See how far that gets you. Forget it. We're out of it.
Well, what else is there? Day jobs?
Not in this life.
Well, what then?
He calls out to the waitress. Garçon, coffee! Then looks to his girl. This place. The waitress comes by, pour him some more coffee. The waitress says all snotty like,
Garçon means boy.
She splits. Here?
It's a coffee shop. What's wrong with that?
People never rob restaurants. Why not? Bars, liquor stores, gas stations. You get your head blown off sticking up one of them. Restaurants, on the other hand, you catch with their pants down. They're not expecting to get robbed, or not as expecting.
I bet in places like this you could cut down on the hero factor.
Correct. Just like banks, these places are insured. The managers, they don't give a f***. They're just trying to get you out the door before they start plugging diners. Waitresses, forget it. They ain't taking a bullet for the register. Busboys, some guy that one getting paid $1.50 an hour really gonna give a f***. You're stealing from the owner. Customers are sitting there with their food in their mouths. They don't know what's going on. One minute they're having a Denver omelet, next minute somebody's sticking a gun in their face. The young woman visibly takes to the idea. The young man continues in a low voice. See, I got the idea last liquor store we stuck up. Remember all those customers that kept coming in?
Yeah.
Then you got the idea to take everybody's wallet.
Uh-huh.
That was a good idea.
Thanks.
We made more from the wallets than we did the register.
Yes, we did.
A lot of people go to restaurants.
A lot of wallets.
Pretty smart, huh? The young woman scans the restaurant with this new information. She sees all the patrons eating, lost in conversations, the tired waitress taking orders, the busboys going through the motions collecting dishes, the manager complaining to the cook about something. A smile breaks out on the young woman's face.
Pretty smart. All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Right here, right now.
Remember, same as before. You're crowd control. I'll handle the employees. They both take out their .32 caliber pistols and lay them on the table. He looks at her and she back at him.
I love you, Pumpkin.
I love you too, Honey Bunny. And with that, Pumpkin and Honey Bunny grab their weapons, stand up, and rob the restaurant. Pumpkin's robbery persona is that of the in-control professional. Honey Bunny's is that of a psychopathic, hair-triggered loose cannon. Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you move, and now execute every one of you mother...
Cut to credit sequence. Pulp Fiction. Next scene, 74 Chevy, moving. An old gas-guzzling, dirty, white 1974 Chevy Nova barrels down a homeless-ridden street in Hollywood. In the front seat are two young fellas, one white, one black, both wearing cheap black suits with thin black ties under long green dusters. Their names are Vincent Vega, the white guy, and Jules Winfield, the black guy. Jules is the one behind the wheel. Okay, now tell me about hash bars. So what you want to know? Well, hash is legal there, right? Yeah, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you can't walk into a restaurant, roll a joint, start puffing away. You're only supposed to smoke in your own home or certain designated areas. And these are hash bars. Yeah, it breaks down like this. It's legal to buy it, it's legal to own it, and if you're the proprietor of a hash bar, it's legal to sell it. It's legal to carry it, which doesn't really matter because, get a load of this, if the cops stop you, it's illegal for them to search you. Searching you is a right that the cops in Amsterdam don't have. That did it, man. I'm f***ing going. That's all there is to it. You'll dig it the most, baby. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is? What? It's the little differences. A lot of the same shit got here, they got there, but theirs is just a little different. Example. Well, in Amsterdam, you can buy beer in the movie theater. And I don't mean in a paper cup either. They give you a glass of beer, like in a bar. In Paris, you can buy beer at McDonald's. Also, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris? They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese. No, they got the metric system there. They wouldn't know what the f*** a quarter pounder is. What they call it? Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. What they call a Big Mac. Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac. Le Big Mac? What do they call a Whopper? I don't know. I didn't go into Burger King. Cut to the Chevy trunk. The trunk of the Chevy opens up. Jules and Vincent reach inside, taking out two .45 automatics, loading and cocking them. We should have shotguns for this kind of deal. How many are up there? 3 or 4. Counting our guy? I'm not sure. So there could be up to 5 guys up there? It's possible. We should have shotguns. They close the trunk. Cut to apartment building courtyard. Vincent and Jules, their long matching overcoats practically dragging on the ground, walk of what looks like a hacienda-style Hollywood apartment building. We track alongside. What's her name? Mia. How did Marcellus and her meet? I don't know. However people meet people. She used to be an actress. She ever do anything I would have saw? I think her biggest deal was she starred in the pilot. What's a pilot? Well, you know the shows on TV. I don't watch TV. Yeah, but you are aware that it's an invention called television. And on this invention, they show shows, yes? Yeah. Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. And they show that one show to the people who pick the shows. And on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing. They entered the apartment building. Vincent and Jules walk through the reception area and wait for the elevator. You remember Antoine Rockamora, half black, half Samoan, used to call him Tony Rockihara? Yeah, maybe fat, right? I wouldn't go so far as to call the brother fat. He's got a weight problem. What's the gonna do? He's Samoan. I think I know who you mean. What about him? Well, Marcellus up good. And word around the campfire is it was on account of Marcellus's wife. The elevator arrives. The men step inside. What'd he do, f***er? No, nothing that bad. Well, what then? He gave her a foot massage. A foot massage? Jules nods his head yes. That's all? Jules nods his head yes. What did Marcellus do? Sent a couple of guys over to his place. They took him out on the patio of his apartment, threw his over the balcony. Fell 4 stories. They had this garden at the bottom enclosed in glass like one of them greenhouses. Fell through that. Since then, he kind of developed a speech impediment. The elevator doors open. Jules and Vincent exit. That's a damn shame. Apartment building hallway. Steadicam in front of Jules and Vincent as they make a beeline down the hall. Still, I have to say, play with matches, you get burned. What do you mean? You don't be giving Marcellus's new bride a foot massage? You don't think he overreacted? Antoine probably didn't expect Marcellus to react the way he did, but he had to expect a reaction. It was a foot massage. A foot massage is nothing. I give her mother a foot massage. It's laying hands on Marcellus Wallace's new wife in a familiar way. Is it as bad as... No, but you're in the same ballpark. Jules stops Vincent. Whoa, stop right there. And giving a foot massage ain't even the same thing. Not the same thing, the same ballpark. And ain't no ballpark either. Look, your method of massage differs from mine, but touching his lady's feet and it ain't the same ballpark, ain't the same league, ain't even the same sport. Foot massages don't mean Have you ever given a foot massage? Don't be telling me about foot massages. I'm the foot fucking master. Given a lot of them. Got my technique down and everything. I don't tickle or nothing. Have you ever given a guy a foot massage? Jules looks at him for a long moment. He's been set up. Fuck you. He starts walking down the hall. Vincent, smiling, walks a little bit behind. How many? Fuck you. Would you give me a foot massage? I'm kinda tired. Man, you best back off. I'm getting a little... Yeah. This is the door. The 2 men stand in front of the door numbered 49. They whisper. What time is it? Vincent checks his watch. 7:22 in the morning. It ain't quite time yet. Let's hang back. They move a little away from the door, facing each other, still whispering. Look, just because I wouldn't give no man a foot massage don't make it right for Marcellus Wallace to throw Antoine off a building into a glass motherfucking house. Fucking up the way the nigga talk. That shit ain't right. Motherfucker do that to me, he better paralyze my ass. I'll kill a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he was right, but you're saying a foot massage don't mean nothing, and I'm saying it does. I've given 1,000,000 ladies 1,000,000 foot massages, and they all meant something. We act like they don't, but they do. That's what's so cool about them. This thing's going on that nobody's talking about, but you know it, and she knows it. Marcellus knew it, and Antoine should have better known better. That's his wife, man. He ain't gonna have a sense of humor about this kind of shit. That's an interesting point. Let's get back in character. What's her name again? Mia. Why are you so interested in Big Man's wife? Well, Marcellus is leaving Florida, and when he's gone, he wants me to take care of Mia. Take care of her? Making a gun out of his finger and placing it to his head. Not that. Take her out, show her a good time, make sure she don't get lonely. You're gonna be taking Mia Wallace out on a date. It ain't a date. It's like when you and your buddy's wife go to a movie or something. It's just, good company. Jules just looks at him. It's not a date. Apartment, room 49. 3 young guys, obviously in over their heads, sit at a table with hamburgers, french fries, and soda pops laid out. One of them flips the loud bolt on a door, opening it to reveal Jules and Vincent in the hallway. Hey, kids! The 2 men stroll inside. The 3 young caught-off-guard guys are Marvin, the black young man who opened the door, will, as the scene progresses, back into the corner. Roger, a young blonde-haired surfer kid with a flock of seagulls haircut, who has yet to say a word, sits at the table with a big sloppy hamburger in his hand. Brett, a white, preppy-looking sort with a blow-dry haircut. Vincent and Jules take in the place with their hands in their pockets. Jules is the one who does the talking. How you boys doing? No answer. Am I tripping? Or did I ask you guys a question? Brett says, we're doing okay. As Jules and Brett talk, Vincent moves behind the young guys. Do you know who we are? Brett shakes his head no. We're associates of your business partner, Marcellus Wallace. You do remember your business partner, don't you? No answer. Jules talks to Brett. Now I'm going to take a wild guess here. You're Brett, right? I'm Brett. I thought so. Well, you remember your business partner, Marcellus Wallace, don't you, Brett? I remember him. Good for you. Looks like me and Vincent caught you boys at breakfast. Sorry about that. What you eating? Hamburgers. Hamburgers! The cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. What kind of hamburgers? Cheeseburgers. No. I meant, where did you get them? McDonald's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, where? Big Kahuna Burger. Big Kahuna Burger. That's the Hawaiian burger joint. I heard they got some tasty burgers. I ain't never had one myself. How are they? They're good. Mind if I try one of yours? No. Yours is this one, right? Yeah. Jules grabs the burger and takes a bite out of it. That's a tasty burger. Vince, you ever try a Big Kahuna Burger? They're real tasty. Nah. Jules holds out the Big Kahuna. You want a bite? Come here, last chance. They're real good. I ain't hungry. Well, if you like hamburgers, give them a try sometime. Me? I can't usually eat them because my girlfriend's a vegetarian, which more or less makes me a vegetarian. But I sure love the taste of a good burger. He turns to Brett. You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? No? Tell him, Vincent. Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. You know why they call it that? Because of the metric system? Check out the big brain on Brett. You're a smart motherfucker. That's right. The metric system. He points to a fast food drink cup. What's in this? Sprite. Sprite. Good. Mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down with? Sure. Jules grabs the cup and takes a sip. He drinks it in its entirety. That hit the spot. He turns to Roger. You, flock of seagulls, you know what we're here for? Roger nods his head, yes. Then why did you tell my boy here, Vince, where you got the shit at? Marvin speaks. It's under the... I don't remember asking you a damn thing. turns back to Roger. You were saying, it's under the bed. Vincent moves to the bed, reaches underneath it, pulling out a black snap briefcase. Vincent flips the 2 locks, opening the case. We can't see what's inside, but a small glow emits from the case. Vincent just stares at it, transfixed. We happy? Jules asked, but no answer from the transfixed Vincent. Vincent! Jules called. Vincent looks up at Jules. We happy? Vincent closes the case. Oh yeah, we happy. Brett speaks to Jules. Look, what's your name? I got his. His is Vincent, but what's yours? My name's Pitt, and your ass ain't talking out of this shit. I just want you to know how sorry we are, how f***ed up things got between us and Mr. Wallace. We entered this thing with the best intentions. As Brett talks, Jules takes out his gun and shoots Roger 3 times in his chest, blowing him out of his chair. Vince smiles to himself. Jules has got some style. Brett has just shit his pants. He's not crying or whimpering, but he's so full of fear, it's as if his body is imploding. Jules talks to Brett. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue. I believe you were saying something about best intentions? Brett couldn't say a word. What's the matter? Oh, you were finished! Well, allow me to retort. Would you describe for me what Marcellus Wallace looks like? Brett still can't speak. Jules snaps, savagely tipping the card table over, removing the only barrier between himself and Brett. Brett now sits in a lone chair before Jules like a political prisoner in front of an interrogator. What country are you from? Brett is petrified. What? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? Brett almost has a heart attack. What? English? Do you speak it? Brett says yes. Then you understand what I'm saying. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Brett, out of fear, utters what? Jules takes his .45 and presses the barrel hard in Brett's cheek. Say what again? Say what again? I dare ya! I double dare ya, motherfucker! Say what one more damn time! Brett is regressing on the spot. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like! Brett does his best. He's black? Go on! He's bald? Does he look like a... What? Without thinking, Brett says what? Jules's eyes go to Vincent. Vincent smirks. Jules rolls his eyes and shoots Brett in the shoulder. Brett screams, breaking into a shaking, trembling spasm in the chair. Does he look like a... No! Then why'd you try to f*** him like a... Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to f*** him. And Marcellus Wallace doesn't like to be f***ed by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett? See, there's this passage I got memorized seems appropriate for the situation. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. The 2 men empty their guns at the same time on the sitting, screaming Brett. Fade to black. Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. Butch Coolidge, a white 26-year-old prizefighter. Butch sits at a table wearing a red and blue high school athletic jacket. Talking to him off-screen is everybody's boss, Marcellus Wallace. The black man sounds like a cross between a gangster and a king.
I think you're gonna find, when all this shit is over and done, I think you're gonna find yourself one smiling off of them. Thing is, Butch, right now, you got ability. But painful as it may be, ability don't last. Now that's a hard for them fact of life, but it's a fact of life you're gonna have to get realistic about. See, this business is filled to the brim with unrealistic stuff for them. For them who thought they would age like wine. Besides, if you were to win all the way, what would you be? Featherweight champion of the world? Who gives a fuck? Besides, Butch, if you win all the way, how many fights you think you're gonna have left? 2? 3? Who gives a fuck? I doubt you can even get a credit card based on that.
A hand lays on an envelope full of money on the table in front of Butch. Butch picks it up.
Now, the night of the fight, you might feel a slight sting. That's pride fucking with you. Pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps. You fight through that shit. 'Cause a year from now, when you're kicking it in the Caribbean, you're gonna say, Marcellus Wallace was right.
I got no problem with that, Mr. Wallace.
In the 5th, your goes down.
Butch nods his head yes.
Say it.
In the 5th, my goes down.
Cut to car, moving. Vincent Vega looks really cool behind the wheel of a 1964 cherry red Chevy Malibu convertible. From the car radio, rockabilly music plays. The background is a colorful process shot. Sally Leroy's is a large topless bar by LAX that Marcellus owns. Vincent's classic Malibu whips into the near-empty parking lot and parks next to a white Honda Civic. Vince knocks on the door. The front entrance is unlocked, revealing the dapper Dan fellow on the inside, English Dave. Dave isn't really English. He's a young black man from Baldwin Park who has run a few clubs for Marcellus, including Sally Leroy's. English Dave greets Vincent Vega. Vincent Vega, our man in Amsterdam, get your on in here. Vincent, carrying the black briefcase from the scene between Vincent and Jules, steps inside. English Dave slams the door in our faces. The spacious club is empty this time of day. English Dave crosses to the bar and Vince follows. Where's the big man? He's over there, finishing up some business. Vincent's point of view, Butch shakes hands with a huge figure with his back to us. The huge figure is the infamous and as of yet still unseen Marcellus Wallace. English Dave over the shoulder says, hang back for a second or two, and when you see the white boy leave, go on over. In the meanwhile, can I make you an espresso? How about a cup of just plain old American? Coming right up. I hear you're taking Mia out tomorrow. At Marcellus's request. Have you met Mia? Not yet. English Dave smiles to himself. Vincent asked, what's so funny? Not a damn thing, says English Dave. Look, I'm not a fucking idiot. She's the big man's fucking wife. I'm gonna sit across the table, chew my food with my mouth closed, laugh at her corny jokes, and that's all I'ma fucking do. English Dave puts Vince's coffee in front of him. Hey, look, my name's Paul, and this shit's between y'all. Then why the fuck you ask me about it for? Vincent utters to himself. Butch bellies up to the bar next to Vincent, drinking his cup of plain old American. Butch to English Dave.
Can I get a pack of red apples?
Filters?
None filters.
While Butch waits for his smokes, Vincent just sips his coffee, staring at him. Butch looks over at him.
Looking at something, friend?
I ain't your friend, Palooka. Butch does a slow turn toward Vincent.
What was that?
I think you heard me just fine, Punchy. Butch turns his body to Vincent when...
Vincent Vega in the house? My chill over here.
Vincent walks forward, out of frame, never giving Butch another glance. Butch, left alone in the frame, looks like he's ready to go into the manners teaching business. Butch's point of view, Vincent hugs and kisses the obscured figure that is Marcellus. Butch makes the wise decision that is, this asshole's a friend of Marcellus, and he better let it go, for now. English Dave brings Butch his pack of red apples and asks for $1.40. Butch is snapped out of his kicking thoughts. He pays English Dave and walks out of the shot. Dissolve to Lance's house, the kitchen. Close-up of Jody, a woman who appears to have a fondness for earrings. Both of her ears are pierced 5 times. She also sports rings in her lips, eyebrows, and nose.
I'll lend it to you. It's a great book on body piercing.
Jody, Vincent, and a young woman named Trudy sit at the kitchen table of a suburban home in Echo Park. Even though Vince is at the same table, he's not included in the conversation. Trudy speaks up.
You know how they use that gun where they pierce your ears? They don't use that when they pierce your do they? Forget that gun. That gun goes against the entire idea behind piercing. All of my piercings, 16 places on my body, every one of them done with a needle. 5 in each ear, 1 through the on my left breast, 1 through my right nostril, 1 through my left eyebrow, 1 through my lip, 1 in my... And I wear a stud in my tongue.
Vince has been letting this conversation go through one ear and out the other until that last remark. Vincent interrupts. Excuse me, I'm curious. Why would you get a stud in your tongue? Jody looks at him and says as if it were the most obvious thing in the world.
It's a thing. It helps facial.
That thought never occurred to Vincent, but he can't deny it makes sense. Jody continued talking to Trudy, leaving Vincent to ponder the truth of her statement.
Vince, you can come in now.
We enter Lance's bedroom. Lance, late 20s, is a young man with a wild and woolly appearance that goes hand in hand with his wild and woolly personality. Lance has been selling drugs his entire adult life. He's never had a day job, never filed a tax return, and has never been arrested. He wears a red flannel shirt over a Speed Racer t-shirt. 3 bags of heroin lie on Lance's bed. Lance and Vincent stand at the foot of the bed.
Now this is Panda from Mexico. Very good stuff. This is Bava. Different, but equally good. And this is Chaco from the Harz Mountains of Germany. Now the first 2 are the same, 45. Those are friend prices. But this one's a little more expensive. This one's 55 a gram. But when you shoot it, you'll know where that extra money went. Nothing wrong with the first 2. It's real good shit. But this one, it's a fucking madman.
Remember, I just got back from Amsterdam.
And mine. Are you in Inglewood? No. You're in my house. White people who know the difference between good shit and bad shit. This is the house they come to. My shit? I'll take the Pepsi challenge with that Amsterdam shit any old day of the fucking week.
That's a bold statement.
This ain't Amsterdam, Vince. This is a seller's market. Coke is fucking dead as disco. Heroin's coming back in the big fucking way. It's this whole 70s retro. Bell bottoms, heroin, they're hot as hell.
Vincent takes out a roll of money that would choke a horse to death. Vincent begins to speak again. Give me 300 a man. If it's as good as you say it is, I'll be back for another 1,000.
I just hope I still have it. What I'm gonna have to do is give you some of my personal stash. What do you think of Trudy? She ain't got a boyfriend or nothing. You wanna hang out and get high?
Which one is Trudy? The one with all the shit on her face?
No, that's Jody. That's my wife.
I'm on my way somewhere. I got a dinner engagement. I'll take a rain check, though.
No problem.
Vincent takes out his case of the works utensils for shooting up. You don't mind if I shoot up here?
Hey, mi casa, su casa.
Muchas gracias. Vincent takes his works out of his case, and as the 2 continue to talk, Vince shoots up.
Still got your Malibu?
Oh, man. You know what's some
did to it the other day? What?
Fucking keyed it.
Oh, man. That's fucked up.
Tell me about it. I had the damn thing in storage 3 years. It's out 5 fucking days. 5 fucking days and some dishes with it.
They should be fucking killed. No trial, no jury, straight to execution.
Vincent cooks his heroin and continues. I just wish I caught him doing it. You know, I'd give anything to catch him doing it. It would have been worth him doing it if I could have just caught him doing it. You know what I mean?
That's some chicken bullshit.
You don't fuck with another man's vehicle. You just don't do it. Close up on the needle going into Vincent's vein. Then we see blood spurting back into the syringe, mixing with the heroin. Vincent's thumb pushing down on the plunger. Then we cut to Marcellus Wallace's house. Vincent walks towards the house and pulls a note off the door. The note reads,
Hi, Vincent. I'm getting dressed. The door's open. Come inside and make yourself a drink. Mia.
Fade to white. Music in. Then fade to Marcellus's house. Living room. Vincent enters on the background. Hello, Vincent uttered. Mia, Marcellus's beautiful young wife. Video screens are in the background. Dusty Springfield is singing Son of a Preacher Man. Mia's mouth comes towards the microphone. Mia into the microphone says,
Vincent.
Vincent turns. Mia over the intercom.
Vincent. I'm on the intercom. It's on the wall by the 2 African fellows. To your right.
Vincent walks.
Warm. Warmer. Disco.
Vincent finds the intercom. Hello?
Push the button if you want to talk.
Hello? Mia into the microphone says,
Go make yourself a drink, and I'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The bar's by the fireplace.
Vincent presses the intercom. Okay. Licks his lips. A video screen with an image of Vincent walking. The Dusty Springfield song continues. Mia turns a knob which controls the movement of the video camera in Marcellus's living room. Vincent picks up a bottle of scotch. He sniffs the bottle and then pours it into a glass. A razor blade cuts cocaine on a mirror. Vincent drinks a glass of scotch. Mia sniffs the cocaine. Vincent sips the drink and looks at a portrait of Mia on the wall. Mia walks into the room and takes the needle off a record. The Dusty Springfield song stops.
Let's go.
In the past 6 years, 50s diners have sprung up all over L.A., giving Thai restaurants a run for their money. They're all basically the same. Decor out of an Archie comic book. Golden oldies constantly emanating from a bubbly Wurlitzer. Saucy waitresses in bobby socks. Menus with items like the Fats Domino cheeseburger or the Wolfman Jack omelet. And overprices that pay for all this. But then there's Jackrabbit Slims, the big mama of 50s diners. Either the best or the worst, depending on your point of view. A big sign with a neon figure of a cartoon surly cool cat Jackrabbit in a red windbreaker towers over the establishment. Underneath the cartoon is the name Jackrabbit Slims. Underneath that is the slogan, next best thing to a time machine. The f*** is this place?
This is Jack Rabbit Slims. An Elvis man should love it.
Come on, Mia. Let's go out and get a steak.
You can get a steak right here, Daddy-O. Don't be a...
Mia draws a square with her hands. Dotted lines appear on the screen, forming a square. The lines disperse. Well, after you, kitty cat. Compared to the interior, the exterior was that of a quaint English pub. Posters from 50s movies are all over the wall. Rock All Night, High School Confidential, Attack of the Crab Monster, and Machine Gun Kelly. The booths that the patrons sit in are made out of the cut-up bodies of 50s cars. In the middle of the restaurant is a dance floor. A big sign on the wall states, "No shoes allowed." Some wannabe beboppers, actually Melrose types, do the twist in their socks or bare feet. The picture windows don't look out the street, but instead, B&W movies, black and white movies of 50s street scenes play behind them. The waitresses and waiters are made up as replicas of 50s icons: Marilyn Monroe, Zorro, James Dean, Donna Reed, Martin and Lewis, and the Philip Morris midget wait on tables wearing appropriate costumes. Vincent and Mia study the menu in a booth made out of a red 59 Edsel. Buddy Holly, their waiter, comes over.
Hi, I'm Buddy. What can I get you?
I'll have the Douglas Sirk steak.
How do you want it? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Bloody as hell, and to drink a vanilla Coke.
How about you, Peggy Sue? I'll have the Durwood Kirby burger, bloody, and a $5 shake. How'd you want that shake? Martin, Lewis, or Amos and Andy? Martin and Lewis.
Did you just order a $5 milkshake?
Sure did.
A shake, milk and ice cream.
Uh-huh.
It costs $5.
Yeah.
You don't put bourbon in it or nothing?
Nope.
Just checking. Buddy exits. Vincent takes a look around the place. The yuppies are dancing, the diners are biting into big juicy hamburgers, and the icons are playing their parts. Marilyn is squealing. The midget is paging Philip Morris. Donna Reed is making her customers drink their milk, and Dean and Jerry are acting a fool.
What do you think?
It's like a wax museum with a pulse. Vincent takes out his pouch of tobacco and begins rolling himself a smoke. After a second of watching him, Mia asked,
"What are you doing?"
"Rolling a smoke," Vincent replied.
"Here?"
"It's just tobacco."
"Oh, well, in that case, will you roll me one, cowboy?"
As he finishes licking it, "You can have this one, cowgirl." He hands her the rolled smoke. She takes it, putting it to her lips. Out of nowhere appears a Zippo lighter in Vincent's hand. He lights it.
"Thanks."
"Think nothing of it." He began rolling one for himself. At this time, the sound of a subway car fills the diner, making everything shake and rattle. Marilyn Monroe runs to a square vent in the floor. An imaginary subway train blows the skirt of her white dress around her ears as she lets out a squeal. The entire restaurant applauds. Back to Mia and Vincent.
"Marcellus said you just got back from Amsterdam."
"Sure did. I heard you did a pilot."
"That was my 15 minutes.
"What was it?"
It was a show about a team of female secret agents called Fox Force 5.
"What?"
Fox Force 5. Fox as in we're a bunch of foxy chicks. Force as in we're a force to be reckoned with. 5 as in there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. There was a blonde one, Somerset O'Neill, from that show Baton Rouge. She was the leader. A Japanese one, a black one, a French one, and a brunette one. Me. We all had special skills. Somerset had a photographic memory. The Japanese fox was a kung fu master. The black girl was a demolition expert. And the French fox's specialty was sex.
"What was your specialty?"
Knives. The character I played, Raven McCoy, her background was she was raised by circus performers, so she grew up doing a knife act. According to the show, she was the deadliest woman in the world with a knife. But because she grew up in the circus, she was also something of an acrobat. She could do illusions. She was a trapeze artist. When you're keeping the world safe from evil, you never know when being a trapeze artist is gonna come in handy. And she knew a zillion old jokes her grandfather, an old vaudevillian, taught her. If we would've got picked up, they would've worked in a gimmick where every episode I would've told an old joke.
"Do you remember any of the jokes?"
Well, I only got the chance to say one, 'cause we only did one show.
"Tell me."
No, it's really corny.
"Come on, don't be that way."
No, you won't like it and I'll be embarrassed.
"You told that joke in front of 50 million people, and you can't tell it to me? I promise I won't laugh."
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
You're quite the silver-tongued devil, aren't you?
I meant I wouldn't laugh at you.
That's not what you said, Vince. Well, now, I'm definitely not gonna tell you, 'cause it's been built up too much.
What a chip. Buddy comes back with the drinks. Mia wraps her lips around the straw of her shake.
Yummy.
Can I have a sip of that? I like to know what a $5 shake tastes like.
Be my guest.
She slides the shake over to him.
You can use my straw. I don't have cooties.
Vincent smiles. Yeah, but maybe I do.
Cooties I can handle.
He takes a sip. That's a pretty good milkshake.
Told ya.
I don't know if it's worth $5, but it's pretty fucking good. He slides the shake back. Then, the first of an uncomfortable silence happens.
Don't you hate that?
Hate what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do we feel it's necessary to yak about bullshit in order to be comfortable?
I don't know.
That's when you know you found somebody special. When you can just shut the fuck up for a minute and comfortably share silence.
Well, I don't think we're there just yet, but don't feel bad. We just met each other.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go to the bathroom and powder my nose while you sit there and think of something to say.
I'll do that. Enter Jack Rabbit Slim's ladies' room. Mia powders her nose by doing a big line of coke off the bathroom sink. Her head jerks up from the rush. Mia imitating Steppenwolf.
I said, damn! Damn!
Vincent digs into his Douglas Sirk steak. Mia comes back to the table.
Don't you love it when you go to the bathroom and you come back to find your food waiting for you?
We're lucky we got it at all. Buddy doesn't seem to be much of a waiter. We should have sat in the Marilyn Monroe section.
Which one? There's 2 Marilyn Monroes.
No, there's not. Pointing at Marilyn in the white dress serving a table. That's Marilyn Monroe. Then he points to a blonde waitress in a tight sweater and capri pants, taking an order from a bunch of film geeks. That's Mamie Van Doren. I don't see Jane Mansfield, so it must be her night off or something.
Pretty smart.
I have my moments.
Did you think of something to say?
Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you about, but you seem like a nice person, and I don't want to offend you.
Ooh, this doesn't sound like the mindless, boring, getting-to-know-you chit-chat. This sounds like you actually have something to say.
Well, you gotta promise me not to get offended.
You can't promise something like that. I have no idea what you're gonna ask me. You can ask me anything you're gonna ask me, and my natural response could be to be offended. Then, through no fault of my own, I would have broken my promise.
Then let's just forget it.
That is an impossibility. Trying to forget anything as intriguing as this would be an exercise in futility.
Is that a fact? Mia nods her head. Yes.
Besides, it's more exciting when you don't have permission.
What do you think about what happened to Antoine?
Who's Antoine?
Tony Rakihara?
He fell out of a window.
That's one way to say it. Another way is he was thrown out. Another way to say it is he was thrown out by Marcellus. And even another way to say it is he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus because of you.
Is that a fact?
No, it's not a fact. No, it's not, but it's just what I heard.
Who told you this?
They, Mia and Vincent smile.
They talk a lot now, don't they?
They certainly do. They certainly do.
Well, don't be shy about it, Vincent. What exactly did they say?
Vincent is slow to answer.
Let me help you, Bashful. Did it involve the F word?
No, they just said Rakihara gave you a foot massage.
And?
No and. That's it.
Marcellus threw Rakihara out of a 4-story window because he massaged my feet?
Yes.
And you believe that?
At the time I was told, it seemed reasonable.
Marcellus throwing Tony out of a 4-story window for giving me a foot massage seemed reasonable?
No, it seemed excessive, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I heard Marcellus is very protective of you.
A husband being protective of his wife is one thing. A husband almost killing another man for touching his wife's feet is something else.
But did it happen?
The only thing Antoine ever touched of mine was my hand when he shook it. I met Antoine once, at my wedding, then never again. The truth is, nobody knows why Marcellus tossed Tony Rocky Horror out of that window, except Marcellus and Tony Rocky Horror. But when you little scamps get together, you're worse than a sewing circle.
Cut to Ed Sullivan and Marilyn Monroe standing on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the moment you all been waiting for, the world-famous Jack Rabbit Slim's Twist Contest.
Patrons cheer. Ed Sullivan is with Marilyn Monroe, who holds a trophy.
One lucky couple will win this handsome trophy that Marilyn here is holding.
Marilyn holds the trophy high.
Now who will be our first contestants?
Mia holds her hand.
Right here.
Vincent reacts.
I wanna dance.
No.
No. I do believe, Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted. Now, I want to dance, I want to win, I want that trophy.
Vincent sighs and gives in. All right.
Okay, that's good.
All right. You asked for it. Vincent and Mia walk onto the dance floor towards Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan into the microphone says, "Let's hear it for our first contestants." Patrons cheer. Vincent and Mia walk up to the microphone.
Now let's meet our first contestants here this evening. Young lady, what is your name?
Mia speaks into the microphone.
Mrs. Mia Wallace.
And, how about your fella here?
Mia grabs the microphone and says,
Vincent Vega.
All right, let's see what you guys can do. Take it away.
Mia and Vincent dance to Chuck Berry's You Never Can Tell. They make hand movements as they dance. The door flings open, and Mia and Vincent dance tango style into the house, singing a cappella the song from the previous scene. They finish their little dance laughing. Then, the two just stand face to face, looking at each other. Was that an uncomfortable silence?
I don't know what that was. Music and drinks.
Mia moves away to attend to both. Vincent hangs up his overcoat on a big bronze coat rack in the alcove. I'm gonna take a...
That was a little bit more information than I needed to know, but go right ahead.
Vincent shuffles off to the John. Mia moves to her CD player, thumbs through a stack of CDs, and selects one. The speakers blast out a high-energy country number, which Mia plays air guitar to. She dances her way around the room and finds herself by Vincent's overcoat hanging on the rack. She touches its sleeve. It feels good. Her hand holes into the pocket and pulls out his tobacco pouch. Like a little girl playing cowboy, she spreads the tobacco on some rolling paper. Imitating what he did earlier, licks the paper and rolls it into a pretty good cigarette. Maybe a little too fat, but not bad for a first try. Mia thinks so anyway. Her hand reaches back in the pocket and pulls out his Zippo lighter. She slaps the lighter against her leg, trying to light it fancy style like Vince did. What do you know? She did it! Mia's one happy clam. She triumphantly brings the flame up to her fat smoke, lighting it up, then loudly snaps the Zippo closed. The Mia-made cigarette is brought up to her lips, and she takes a long, cool drag. Her hand slides the Zippo back in the overcoat pocket. But wait, her fingers touch something else. Those fingers brought out a plastic bag with white powder inside. The madman that Vincent bought earlier from Lance. Wearing a big smile, Mia brings the bag of heroin up to her face.
Disco, Vince, you little cola nut. You've been holding out on me.
Cut to the bathroom. Vincent stands at the sink, washing his hands, talking to himself in the mirror. Okay, one drink, and leave. Don't be rude, but drink your drink. Quickly. Say goodbye, walk out the door, get in your car, and go down the road. Back at the living room, Mia has the unbeknownst to her heroin cut up into big lines on her glass-top coffee table. Taking her trusty $100 bill like a human dustbuster, she quickly snorts the fat line. The close-up is on Mia. Her head jerks back, her hands go to her nose, which feels like it's on fucking fire. Something is terribly wrong. Then the rush hits. Back to the bathroom. Vincent dries his hands on a towel while he continues his dialogue with the mirror. It's a moral test of oneself, whether or not you can maintain loyalty, because when people are loyal to each other, that's very meaningful. Back to the living room, Mia is on all fours trying to crawl to the bathroom, but it's like she's trying to crawl with the bones removed from her knees. Blood begins to drip from Mia's nose. Then her stomach gets into the act and she vomits. Back to the bathroom. Vince continues. So you're gonna go out there, drink your drink, say goodnight, I've had a very lovely evening. Go home and that's all you're gonna do. Now that he's given himself a little pep talk, Vincent's ready for whatever's waiting for him on the other side of that door, so he goes through it. Enter the living room. We follow behind Vincent as he walks from the bathroom to the living room, where he finds Mia lying on the floor like a rag doll. She's twisted on her back. Blood and puke are down her front, and her face is contorted, not out of the tightness of pain, but just the opposite. The muscles in her face are so relaxed, she lies still with her mouth wide open, slack-jawed. Jesus Christ. Vincent moves like greased lightning to Mia's fallen body, bending down where she lays. He puts his fingers on her neck to check her pulse. She slightly stirs. Mia is aware of Vincent over her, speaking to her. Mia, Vincent was asking, sounding weird. What the hell happened? But she's unable to communicate. Mia makes a few lost mumbles, but they're not distinctive enough to be called words. Vincent props her eyelids open and sees the story. Vincent says to himself, I'll be a son of a... To Mia, he says, Mia, what did you take? Answer me, honey, what did you take? Mia is incapable of answering. He slaps her face hard. Vincent springs up and runs to his overcoat hanging on the rack. He goes through the pockets frantically. It's gone. Vincent makes a beeline to Mia, and we follow. Vincent yells to Mia, okay, honey, come on, get up. Get up now, we're gonna get you to your feet. Let's go. He reaches her and hoists the dead weight up in his arms. We're on our feet now, and we're gonna talk out to the car. Here we go. Let's walk now. We follow behind as he hurriedly walks the practically unconscious Mia through the house and out the front door. Vincent's hot rod is moving. The speedometer reads red needle on 100. Vincent, driving like a madman in a town without traffic laws, speeds the car into turns and up and over hills. Vincent, one hand firmly on the wheel, the other shifting like RoboCop, both eyes staring straight ahead except when he glances over at Mia. Mia, slack-jawed expression, mouth gaping, posture of a bag of water. Vincent takes a cellular phone out of his pocket. He punches a number. Enter Lance's house. At this late hour, Lance has transformed from a bon vivant drug dealer to a bathrobe creature. He sits in a big comfy chair, ratty blue gym pants, a worn out but comfortable t-shirt that has written on it Taft, California, and a moth-ridden terry cloth robe. In his hand is a bowl of Captain Crunch with crunch berries. In front of him on the coffee table is a jug of milk, the box the Captain Crunch with crunch berries came out of, and the hash pipe in an ashtray. The phone rings. Lance puts down his cereal and makes his way to the phone. It rings again. Jody, his wife, calls from the bedroom, obviously woken up.
Lance, the phone's ringing!
I can hear it.
I thought you told those folks hanging never to call this late!
I told him, and that's what I'm going to tell this asshole right now.
He answers the phone.
Hello. Do you know how late it is? You're not supposed to be calling this late.
Back to Vincent in the Malibu. Vincent is still driving like a striped ape, clutching the phone to his ear. We cut back and forth during the conversation. Lance, this is Vincent. I'm in big fucking trouble, man. I'm on my way to your place.
Whoa, hold your horses, man. What's the fucking problem?
You still got an adrenaline shot? I need it, man. I got a chick, she's ODing on me.
Don't bring her here. I'm not even fucking joking with you. Don't you be bringing some fucking poop up to my house.
No choice.
She's ODing?
Yeah, she's dying on me, man.
Then bite the fucking bullet, take her to a hospital, and call a lawyer.
Negative.
She ain't my fucking problem. You fucked up. You fucking deal with this. Are you talking to me on a cellular phone? I don't know you. Who is this? Don't be coming over here. I don't know you. Why am I even talking to you? Hang up. Crank caller. Crank caller. Crank caller.
Too late. I'm already here. It was at that moment inside Lance's house we hear Vincent's Malibu coming up the street. Lance hangs up the phone, goes to his curtains, and yanks the cord. The curtains open with a whoosh in time to see Vincent's Malibu driving up on his front lawn and crashing into his house. The window Lance is looking out of shatters from the impact.
What the hell was that?
Lance charges from the window out the door to his front lawn. Vincent is already out of the car, working on getting Mia out.
Have you lost your fucking mind? You crashed your car in my fucking house? You talking about shit on the phone?
If you through having this little fucking hissy fit, this chick is dying. Get your needle and get it now.
Are you deaf? You're not bringing that to my house.
This is Marcellus Wallace's wife. Now, if she fucking croaks on me, I'm a grease spot. But before he turns me into a bar of soap, I'm gonna be forced to tell him how you could have saved her life, but instead you let her die on your front lawn. Help me. Come on now, come on. In Lance's house, we're in Jody's bedroom. Jody's in bed, throws off the covers and stands up. She's wearing a long t-shirt with a picture of Fred Flintstone on it. We follow behind her as she opens the door, walking through the hall into the living room.
It's only 1:30 in the damn morning. What the is going on out here?
As she walks into the living room, she sees Vincent and Lance standing over Mia, who's lying on the floor in the middle of the room. From here on in, everything in this scene is frantic, like a documentary in an emergency ward, with the big difference here being nobody knows what the f*** they're doing.
Who's she?
Lance looks up at Jody.
Would you get that black box in the bedroom I have with the adrenaline shot?
What's wrong with her?
She's ODing on us, Vincent said.
Well, get her the hell out of here!
Lance and Vincent, in unison and stereo, get the fucking shot!
Don't yell at me!
She angrily turns and disappears into the bedroom looking for the shot. We move into the room with the two men. Vincent says to Lance, "You two are a match made in heaven."
Look, just keep talking to her, okay? While she's getting the shot, I go get the medical book.
What do you need a medical book for?
To tell me how to do it. I've never given an adrenaline shot before.
You've had that thing for 6 years, and you never used it.
I never had to use it.
I don't go joy popping with bubble gummers.
All of my friends can handle their highs.
Well, then get it.
I am if you let me.
I'm not fucking stopping you.
Stop talking to me and start talking to her.
Would you go get the fucking thing? We follow Lance as he runs out of the living room into a spare room with a bunch of junk in it. He frantically starts scanning the junk for the book he's looking for, repeating the words,
Come on, come on,
endlessly. From off screen we hear, "Hurry up, Lance, we're losing her!"
I'm looking as fast as I can.
Lance continues his frenzied search. We hear Jody in the living room now as she talks to Vincent.
What's he looking for?
I don't know, some medical book. Jody calls to Lance.
What are you looking for?
My black medical book.
As he continues searching, flipping, and knocking over Jody appears in the doorway.
What are you looking for?
My black medical book. It's like a textbook they give the nurses.
I never saw a medical book.
Trust me, I have one.
Well, if it's that important, why didn't you keep it with the shot?
Lance spins towards her.
I don't know. Stop bothering me.
While you're looking for it, that girl's gonna die on our carpet. You're never gonna find it in all this For 6 months now, I've been telling you to clean this room.
Get your in here! That book! Lance angrily knocks over a pile of shit and leaves with the shot, heading for the living room. Inside the living room, Vincent is bent over Mia, talking softly to her, when Lance re-enters the room. Quit fucking around, man, and give it a shot! Lance bends down by the black case brought in by Jody. He opens it and begins preparing the needle for injection.
While I'm doing this, take her shirt off and find her heart.
Vince rips her blouse open. Jody stumbles back in the room, hanging back from the action. Does it have to be exact?
Yeah, it has to be exact. I'm giving her an injection to the heart, so I gotta exactly hit her in the heart.
Well, I don't know exactly where her heart is. I think it's here. Vince points to Mia's right breast. Lance glances over and nods.
That's it.
As Lance readies the injection, Vincent looks up at Jody. I need a big fat magic marker. Got one?
A what?
I need a big fat magic marker. Any felt pen will do. A black magic marker, something, please!
Hold on.
Jody runs to the desk, opens the top drawer, and in her enthusiasm, she pulls the drawer out of the desk, the contents of which, bills, papers, pens, spill to the floor. The injection is ready. Lance hands Vincent the needle.
It's ready. I'll tell you what to do.
No, you're gonna give it a shot.
No, you're gonna give it a shot.
You giving it a shot.
No, I'm not giving it a shot.
I've never done this before.
I've never done this before either, and I ain't starting now. You brought her here, that means you're gonna give it a shot. The day I bring an ODM to your place, then I'll give it a shot.
Jody hurriedly joins them in the huddle, a big fat red magic marker in her hand.
Got it.
Vincent grabs the magic marker out of Jody's hand and makes a big red dot on Mia's body where her heart is. Okay, what do I do?
Well, you're giving her an injection of adrenaline straight to the heart, but she's got a breastplate in front of her heart, so you gotta pierce through that. So what you gotta do is bring the needle down in a stabbing motion.
Lance demonstrates a stabbing motion which looks like the shape killing its victims in Halloween. What, do I have to stab her 3 times?
If you want the needle to pierce through her heart, you gotta stab her hard. Then once you do, push down on the plunger.
What happens after that?
I'm curious about that myself.
This ain't a fucking joke, man!
She's supposed to come out of it like that.
Vincent lifts the needle up above his head in a stabbing motion. He looks down on Mia. Mia is fading fast. Soon, nothing will help her. Vincent's eyes narrow, ready to do this. Okay, count to 3. Lance, on his knees, right beside Vincent, does not know what to expect. Lance counts it off.
1.
We focus on the red dot on Mia's body. The needle is raised, ready to strike.
2.
Jody's face is alive with anticipation. Needle in the air, poised like a rattler, ready to strike. 3! Vincent brings the needle down hard, stabbing Mia in the chest. Mia's head is jolted from the impact. The syringe plunger is pushed down, pumping the adrenaline out through the needle. Mia's eyes pop wide open, and she lets out a hellish cry of the banshee. She bolts up in a sitting position, needle stuck in her chest, screaming. Vincent, Lance, and Jody, who were in sitting positions in front of Mia, jump back, scared to death. Mia's scream runs out. She slowly starts taking breaths of air. The other three, now scooted halfway across the room, shaken to their bones, look to see if she's all right.
If you're okay, say something.
Mia, still breathing, not looking up at them, says in a relatively normal voice.
Something?
Vincent and Lance collapse on their backs, exhausted and shaking from how close to death Mia had came.
Anybody want a beer?
Jody asked. Cut to Vincent's Malibu. Vincent is behind the wheel, driving Mia home. No one says anything. Both are still too shaken. In front of Marcellus Wallace's house, the Malibu pulls up to the front. Mia gets out without saying a word, still in a daze, and begins walking down the walkway towards her front door. Mia. She turns around. Vincent out of the car, standing on the walkway, a big distance between the two. What are your thoughts on how to handle this?
What's yours?
Well, I'm in the opinion that Marcellus can live his whole life and never ever hearing of this incident. Mia smiles.
Don't worry about it. If Marcellus ever heard of this, I'd be in as much trouble as you.
I seriously doubt that.
If you can keep a secret, so can I.
Let's shake on it. The two walk toward each other, holding out their hands to shake, and shake they do. Mum's the word. Mia lets go of Vincent's hand and silently makes the see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil sign with her hands. Vincent smiles. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go home and have a heart attack. Mia giggles. Vincent turns to leave.
You want to still hear my Fox Force 5 joke?
Vince turns around. Sure, but I think I'm still a little too petrified to laugh.
You won't laugh because it's not funny. But if you still want to hear it, I'll tell it.
Can't wait.
3 tomatoes are walking down the street. A papa tomato, a mama tomato, and a little baby tomato. The baby tomato is lagging behind the papa and mama tomato. The papa tomato gets mad, goes over to the baby tomato, and stamps on him and says, "Catch up."
They both smile, but neither laugh.
See you around, Vince.
Mia turns and walks inside her house. After Mia walks inside, Vincent continues to look at where she was. He brings his hands to his lips and blows her a kiss, then exits frame, leaving it empty. We hear his Malibu start up and drive away. Fade to black. Fade up on the cartoon Speed Racer. Speed is giving a detailed description of all the features on his race car, the Mach 5, which he does at the beginning of every episode. Off screen, we hear a woman's voice.
Butch? Butch!
Dissolved to Butch's point of view. We're in the living room of a modest 2-bedroom house in Alhambra, California, in the year 1972. Butch's mother, 35-ish, stands in the doorway leading into the living room. Next to her is a man dressed in the uniform of an American Air Force officer. The camera is the perspective of a 5-year-old boy.
Butch, stop watching TV for a second. We got a special visitor. Now, do you remember when I told you your daddy died in a POW camp? Well, this here is Captain Coons. He was in the POW camp with Daddy.
Captain Coons steps inside the room towards the little boy and bends down on one knee to bring him even with the boy's eye line. Hello, little man. Boy, I sure heard a bunch about you. See, I was a good friend of your dad's. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell over 5 years together. Hopefully you'll never have to experience this yourself, but when two men are in a situation like me and your dad were for as long as we were, you take on certain responsibilities of the other. If it had been me who had not made it, Major Coolidge would be talking right now to my son, Jim. But the way it worked out is I'm talking to you, Butch. I got something for you. The captain pulls a gold wristwatch out of his pocket. This watch I got here was first purchased by your great-grandfather. It was bought by Private Doughboy Ernie Coolidge the day he set sail for Paris. This was your great-granddaddy's war watch made by the first company to ever make wristwatches. You see, up until then, people just carried pocket watches. Your great-granddaddy wore that watch every day he was in that war. Then, when he had done his duty, he went home to your great-grandmother, took the watch off his wrist, and put it in an old coffee can. And in that can it stayed till your grandfather, Dane Coolidge, was called upon by his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they called it World War II. Your great-grandfather gave it to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as his old man's. Your granddad was a Marine, and he was killed with all the other Marines at the Battle of Wake Island. Your granddad was facing death, and he knew it. None of those boys had any illusions about ever leaving the island alive. So 3 days before the Japanese took the island, your 22-year-old grandfather asked a gunner on an Air Force transport named Wanaki, a man he had never met before in his life, to deliver to his infant son, who he had never seen in the flesh, his gold watch. 3 days later, your grandfather was dead, but Wanaki kept his word. After the war was over, he paid a visit to your grandmother, delivering to your infant father his dad's gold watch. This watch was on your daddy's wrist when he was shot down over Hanoi. He was captured and put in a Vietnamese prison camp. Now, he knew if the saw the watch, it'd be confiscated. The way your daddy looked at it, that watch was your birthright. And to be damned if some slopeheads were gonna put their greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright, so he hid it in the one place he knew he could hide something. 5 long years, he wore this watch. Up then when he died of dysentery, he gave me the watch. I had this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my for 2 years. Then after 7 years, I was sent home to my family, and now, little man, I give the watch to you. Captain Coons hands the watch to Butch. A little hand comes into frame to accept it. Cut to the locker room. The 27-year-old Butch Coolidge is dressed in boxing regalia, trunks, shoes, and gloves. He lies on the table catching a few Z's before his big fight. Almost as soon as we cut to him, he wakes up with a start, shaken by the bizarre memory. He wipes his sweaty face with his boxing glove. His trainer, Klondike, an older fire plug, opens the door a little, sticking his head in the room. Pandemonium seems to be breaking out behind Klondike in the hallway. It's time, Butch.
I'm ready.
Klondike steps inside, closing the door on the wild mob outside. He goes to the long yellow robe hanging on a hook. Butch hops off the table and, without a word, Klondike helps him on with the robe, which says on the back, Battling Butch Coolidge. The two men head for the door. Klondike opens the door for Butch. As Butch steps into the hallway, the crowd goes apeshit. Klondike closes the door behind him, leaving us in the quiet, empty locker room. Fade to black. The Gold Watch. We hear over the black and white title.
Well, Dan, it had to be the bloodiest and hands down the most brutal fight this city has ever seen.
The sound of chaos in the background. Fade in. Alley. Raining at night. A taxi is parked in a dark alley next to an auditorium. The sky is down rain. We slowly dolly towards the parked car. The sound of the car radio can be heard coming from inside.
Coolidge was out of there faster than I've ever seen a victorious boxer vacate the ring. Do you think he knew Willis was dead?
My guess will be yes, Richard. I could see from my position here the frenzy in his eyes give way to the realization of what he was doing. I think any man will have left the ring that fast.
Dissolved to taxi, parked in the rain. Inside the taxi, behind the wheel, is a female cabbie named Esmeralda Villalobos. A young woman with exotic looks sits parked, drinking a steaming hot cup of coffee out of a white styrofoam cup. The sportcasters continue their coverage.
Do you feel this ring-death tragedy will have an effect on the world of boxing?
Oh, a tragedy like this can't help but shake the world of boxing to its very foundation. But it's of paramount importance that during the sad weeks ahead, the eyes of the WBA remain firmly fixed on the click. Esmeralda shuts off the radio. She takes a sip of coffee, then hears a noise behind her in the alley. She sticks her head out of the car door to see. Boxing auditorium. A window about 3 stories high opens on the auditorium side of the alley. A gym bag is tossed out into a garbage dumpster below the window. Then, Butch Coolidge, still dressed in boxing trunks, shoes, gloves, and yellow robe, leaps to the dumpster below. Esmeralda's reaction takes in the strangeness of this sight. Gym bag in hand, Butch climbs out of the dumpster and runs to the taxi. Before he climbs in, he takes off his robe and throws it to the ground. Interior of taxi, parked. Butch, soaking wet, naked except for trunks, shoes, and gloves, hops in the back seat, slamming the door. Esmeralda, staring straight ahead, talks to Butch through the rear view mirror.
Are you the man I'm supposed to pick up?
If you're the cab I called, I'm the guy you're supposed to pick up.
Where to?
Out of here.
The ignition key is twisted. The engine roars to life. The meter is flipped on. Esmeralda's bare foot stomps on the gas pedal. Exterior of the boxing auditorium. The cab whips out of the alley, fishtailing on the wet pavement in front of the auditorium at a rapid pace. Inside Willis's locker room. Locker room door opens. English Dave fights his way through the pandemonium which is going on outside in the hall, shutting the door on the madness. Once inside, English Dave takes time to adjust his suit and tie. Mia is standing by the door. She sees Vincent with English Dave. Mia, how you doing?
Great. I never thank you for the dinner.
In the room, black boxer Floyd Ray Willis lies on the table, dead. His face looks like he went dunking for bees. His trainer is on his knees, head on Floyd's chest, crying over the body. The huge figure that is Marcellus Wallace stands at the table, hand on the trainer's shoulder, lending emotional support. We still do not see Marcellus clearly, only that he is big. Mia sits in a chair at the far end of the room. Marcellus looks up, sees English Dave, and walks over to him.
What you got?
He booked.
I'm prepared to scour the earth for this motherfucker. If Butch goes into Indochina, I want to hide in a bowl of rice ready to pop a cap in his...
I'll take care of it. Inside the cab, Butch gets one of his boxing gloves off. Esmeralda watches in the rear view mirror. He tries to roll down one of the backseat windows, but can't find the roll bar.
Hey, how do I open the window back here?
I have to do it.
She presses a button and the back window moves down. Butch tosses his boxing glove out the window, then starts untying the other one. Esmeralda can't keep quiet anymore.
Mister. Hey, mister.
What?
You were in the fight on the radio. You the fighter?
Butch tosses his other glove out the window.
What gave you that idea?
Oh, come on. You're him. I know you're him. Tell me you him.
I'm him.
You killed the other boxing man.
He's dead?
The radio said he was dead.
Butch finished wiping himself down. Butch says to himself,
Sorry about that, Floyd.
He tosses the towel out the window. Silence as Butch digs in his bag for a t-shirt.
What does it feel like?
Butch, as he finds his shirt, responds,
What does what feel like?
Killing a man. Beating another man to death with your bare hands.
Butch pulls on his t-shirt.
Are you some kind of weirdo?
No, it's just a subject that I have much interest in. You are the first person I ever met who has killed somebody. So, what was it like to kill a man?
Tell you what, you give me one of them cigarettes up there and I'll tell you all about it.
Esmeralda bounces in her seat with excitement. Butch leans forward. Esmeralda, keeping her eyes on the road, passes a cigarette back to him. He takes it. Then, still not looking behind her, she brings up her hand, a lit match in it. Butch lights his smoke, then blows out the match. He takes a long drag.
So,
He looks at her license.
Esmeralda Villalobos, is that Mexican?
The name is Spanish, but I'm Colombian.
It's a very pretty name.
It means Esmeralda of the Wolves.
That's one hell of a name you got there, sister.
Thank you. And what is your name?
Butch.
Butch. What does he mean?
I'm an American, honey. Our names don't mean Anyway, moving right along. What is it you want to know, Esmeralda?
I want to know what it feels like to kill a man.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't know he was dead till you told me he was dead. Now I know he's dead. Do you want to know how I feel about it?
Esmeralda nods her head yes.
I don't feel the least bit bad about it.
Cut to a phone booth. We dolly around it as Butch talks inside.
What'd I tell you? As soon as the word got out a fix was in, the odds would be out of control. Hey, if he was a better fighter, he'd still be alive. If he never laced up his gloves in the first place, which he never should have done, he'd still be alive. Well, enough about the poor, unfortunate Mr. Floyd. Let's talk about the rich and prosperous Mr. Butch. How many bookies you spread it around with? 8? How long to collect? So by tomorrow evening, you'll have it all. Good news, Scotty. That is real good news. I understand a few stragglers aside. Me and Fabian gonna leave in the morning. It should take us a couple of days to get to Knoxville. Next time we see each other, it'll be on Tennessee time. Cool, brother.
Butch hangs up the phone. He looks at the cab, waiting to take him wherever he wants to go. Butch says to himself in French with English subtitles,
Fabian, my love, our adventure begins.
Cut to the exterior of the motel. Esmeralda's taxi pulled into the motel parking lot. The rain has stopped, but the night is still soaked. Butch gets out. Now fully dressed in t-shirt, jeans, and high school athletic jacket, he leans in the driver's side window.
45.60.
Butch hands her the money.
Merci beaucoup. And here's a little something for the effort.
Butch holds up a $100 bill. Esmeralda's eyes light up. She goes to take it. Butch holds it out of her reach.
Now, if anybody should ask you who your fare was tonight, what are you going to tell them?
The truth. 3 well-dressed, slightly toasted Mexicans.
He gives her the bill.
Hasta luego, Butch.
He tweaks her nose. She smiles, and he turns and walks away. She drives off. Enter the motel room. We cut to the interior of the motel. Butch enters and turns on the light. Lying curled up on the bed, fully dressed, with her back to us, is Butch's French girlfriend, Fabian.
Keep the light off.
Butch flicks the switch back, making the room dark again.
Is that better, Sugar Pop?
Oui. Hard day at the office?
Pretty hard. I got into a fight.
Poor baby. Can we make smooth?
Butch climbs into bed. Fabian from behind. When Butch and Fabian speak to each other, they speak in baby talk.
I was looking at myself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a butt.
You were looking in the mirror, and you wish you had some pot?
A pot. A pot belly. Pot bellies are sexy.
Well, you should be happy, because you have one.
Shut up, Faso. I don't have a butt. I have a bit of a tummy like Madonna when she did Lucky Star. It's not the same thing.
I didn't realize there was a difference between a tummy and a pot belly.
The difference is huge.
You want me to have a pot?
No, pot bellies make a man look either oafish or like a gorilla. But on a woman, a pot belly is very sexy. The rest of you is normal. Normal face, normal legs, normal hips, normal... but with a big, perfectly round pot belly. If I had one, I'd wear a t-shirt 2 sizes too small to accentuate it.
You think guys would find that attractive?
I don't give a damn what men find attractive. It's unfortunate what we find pleasing to the touch and pleasing to the eye is seldom the same.
If you have a pot belly, I'd punch you in it.
You punch me in my belly?
Right in the belly.
I'd smother you. I'd drop it right on your face till you couldn't breathe.
You do that to me?
Yes.
Did you get everything, Sugar Pop?
Yes, I did.
Good job.
Did everything go as planned?
You didn't listen to the radio?
I never listened to your fights. Were you the winner?
Oh, I won, all right.
Are you still retiring?
Sure am.
What about the man you fought?
Freud retired, too.
Fabian smiles.
Really? He won't be fighting no more?
Nope, not no more.
So it all worked out in the finish.
We ain't at the finish yet, baby.
Fabian rolls over and Butch gets on top of her. They kiss.
We're in a lot of danger, aren't we?
Butch nods his head yes.
If they find us, they'll kill us, won't they?
Butch nods his head yes.
But they won't find us, will they?
Butch nods his head no.
Do you still want me to go with you?
Butch nods his head yes.
I don't want to be a burden or a nuisance.
Butch's hand goes out of frame and starts massaging awesome. Fabian reacts.
Say it.
Fabian, I want you to be with me.
Forever?
And ever.
Fabian lies her head back. Butch continues to massage some.
Do you love me?
We.
Butch, will you give me yourself?
Butch kisses her on the mouth.
Will you kiss it?
She nods her head yes.
But you first.
Butch's head goes down out of frame to carry out the oral. Fabian's face is alone in the frame. Fabian says in French with English subtitles,
Push, my love. The adventure begins.
Fade to black. Fade up. Motel room. The same motel room, except empty. We hear the shower running in the bathroom. The camera moves to the bathroom doorway. We see Fabian in a white terry cloth robe that seems to swallow her up. She's drying her head with a towel. Butch is inside the shower, washing up. Steam fills the bathroom. Butch turns the shower off and opens the door, popping his head out.
I think I cracked a rib.
Giving me yourself.
No, from the fight.
Don't call me now. Give me.
Butch, in a muffled voice, says,
My name is Bobby. My name is Bobby.
Shut up, kid. I hate that old voice.
Okay, sorry, I take it back. Can I have a towel, please? Miss Beautiful Tulip.
Oh, I like that. I like being called a tulip. Tulip is much better than me.
She finishes drying her hair and wraps the towel like a turban on her head.
I didn't call you a mum. I called you a... but I took it back.
She hands him a towel.
Merci beaucoup.
Butch?
As he dries his head, he replies,
Yes, lemon pie?
Where are we going to go?
I'm not sure yet. Wherever you want. We're gonna get a lot of money from this. But it ain't gonna be so much we can live like hogs in the fat house forever. I was thinking we could go somewhere in the South Pacific. The kind of money we'll have will carry us a long way down there.
So if we want it, we can live in Bora Bora?
You betcha. And if after a while you don't dig Bora Bora, then we can move over to Tahiti or Mexico.
But I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak Boran either. Besides, Mexican is easy. ¿Dónde está el zapateria?
What does that mean?
Where's the shoe store?
¿Dónde está el zapateria?
Excellent pronunciation. You'll be my little mamacita in no time.
Butch exits the bathroom. We stay on Fabian as she brushes her teeth. Butch keeps on from the other room.
¿Qué hora es?
¿Qué hora es?
What time is it?
What time is it?
Time for bed. Sweet dreams, Jelly Bean.
Fabian brushes her teeth. We watch her for a moment or two. Then she remembered something.
Butch.
She walks out of the bathroom to ask Butch a question, only to find him sound asleep in his bed. She looks at him for a moment.
Forget it.
She exits frame, going back in the bathroom. We stay on the wide shot of the unconscious Butch in bed. Fade to black. Fade up. Same shot as before, the next morning. We find Butch still asleep in bed. Fabian brushes her teeth half in and half out of the bathroom so she can watch TV at the same time. She still wears the terry cloth robe from the night before. On TV, William Smith and a bunch of Hell's Angels are taking on the entire Vietnamese army in the film The Losers. Butch wakes from his sleep as if a scary monster was chasing him. He startles Fabian.
Merda! You startled me. Did you have a bad dream?
Butch squints down the front of the bed at her, trying to focus. Butch, still trying to chase the cobwebs away, sees on TV Hell's Angels tearing through a Vietnamese prison camp.
What are you watching?
A motorcycle movie. I'm not sure the name.
Are you watching it?
Fabian enters the room.
In a way.
Why?
Would you like for me to switch it off?
Would you please?
She reaches over and turns off the TV.
It's a little too early in the morning for explosions and war.
What was it about?
How should I know? You're the one watching it.
Fabian laughs.
No, imbecile. What was your dream about?
Oh, I don't remember. It's really rare I remember a dream.
You just woke up from it.
Fabian, I'm not lying to you. I don't remember.
Well, let's look at the grumpy man in the morning. I didn't say you were lying. It's just odd you don't remember your dreams. I always remember mine. Did you know you talk in your sleep?
I do not talk in my sleep. Do I talk in my sleep?
You did last night.
What did I say? As she lays on top of him, she answers,
I don't know. I couldn't understand you.
She kisses Butch.
Why don't you get up and we'll get some breakfast at that breakfast place with the pancakes?
One more kiss, and I'll get up.
Fabian gives Butch a sweet, long kiss.
Satisfied?
Yep.
Then get up, lazy bones.
Butch climbs out of the bed and starts pulling clothes out of the suitcase that Fabian brought.
What time is it?
Almost 9 in the morning. What time does our train arrive?
11.
I'm gonna order a big plate of blueberry pancakes with maple syrup, eggs over easy, and 5 sausages.
Butch, surprised at her potential appetite, asked her,
Anything to drink with that?
Butch is finished dressing. Fabian, referring to his clothes, says to him,
Oh yes, that looks nice. To drink, a tall glass of orange juice and a black cup of coffee. After that, I'm going to have a slice of pie.
As he goes to the suitcase, Butch asked,
Pie for breakfast?
Any time of the day is a good time for pie. Blueberry pie to go with the pancakes. And on top, a thin slice of melted cheese.
Where's my watch?
It's there.
No, it's not. It's not here.
Have you looked?
By now, Butch is frantically rummaging through the suitcase.
Yeah, fucking looked.
Now he's throwing clothes.
What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Are you sure you got it?
Fabian can hardly speak. She's never seen Butch this way.
Yes, beside the table drawer.
On the little kangaroo?
Yes, on the little kangaroo.
Well, it's not here.
Fabian, on the verge of tears, says,
Well, it should be.
Oh, it most definitely should be here, but it's not, so where the fuck is it?
Fabian is crying and scared. Butch lowers his voice, which only serves to make him more menacing.
Fabian, that was my father's fucking watch. You know what my father went through to get me that watch? I don't have time to get into it right now, but he went through a lot. Now all this other shit you could have set on fire, but I specifically reminded you not to forget my father's watch. Now think. Did you get it?
I believe so.
You believe so? You either did or you didn't. Which one is it?
Then I did.
Are you sure?
No.
Butch freaks out and punches the air.
Do you know how stupid you fucking are? No!
Fabian screams in horror as she backs into a corner. Butch picks up the motel TV and throws it against the wall. Fabian continues to scream horrifically. Butch looks towards her, suddenly calm.
It's not your fault. You left it at the apartment.
He bends down in front of the woman who has sunk to the floor. He touches her hand. She flinches.
If you did leave it at the apartment, it's not your fault. I had you bring a bunch of I reminded you about it, but I didn't illustrate how personal the watch was to me. If all I gave a fuck about was my watch, I should have told you. You're not a mind reader, right?
He kisses her hand, then rises. Fabian is still sniffling. Butch goes to the closet.
I'm sorry.
Butch puts on his high school jacket.
Don't be. It just means I won't be able to eat breakfast with you.
Why does it mean that?
Because I'm going back to the apartment to get my watch.
Won't the gangsters be looking for you there?
That's what I'm going to find out. If they are, and I don't think I can handle it, I'll split.
Butch rises from the floor.
I was so dreadful. I saw your watch. I thought I brought it. I'm so sorry.
Butch brings her close and puts his hands on her face.
Don't feel bad, Sugar Pop. Nothing you could ever do would make me permanently angry at you. I love you, remember?
He digs some money out of his wallet.
Now here's some money. Order those pancakes and have a great breakfast.
Don't go.
I'll be back before you can say blueberry pie.
Blueberry pie.
Well, maybe not that fast, but fast enough, okay?
Okay.
And with that, he's out the door. Fabian sits on the bed and looks at the money he gave her. Enter the interior of the Honda, moving during the day. Butch is beating the steering wheel and the dash with his fists as he drives down the street.
Of all the fucking things she could have forgot, she forgets my father's watch. I specifically reminded her not to forget it. Bedside table, hold the kangaroo. I said the words, don't forget my fucking father's watch.
The little Honda races towards its destination as fast as its little engine will take it. Cut to a parking meter. Red flag rises up, then out, leaving the arrow pointing at 1 hour. Butch isn't completely reckless. He has parked his car a couple of blocks from his apartment to check things out before he goes bopping through the front door. Butch walks down the alley until he gets to another street. Then he discreetly glances out. Enter the exterior of the street of Butch's apartment. Everything seems normal. More or less the right number of cars in the street. None of the parked cars appear out of place. None of them have a couple of goons sitting inside. Basically, it looks like normal morning activity in front of Butch's home. Butch peers around the wall, taking in the vital information. Butch walks out of the alley and is ready for anything. He crosses the street and enters his apartment courtyard. Across the street from Butch's building, on the corner, is a combination donut shop and Japanese restaurant. A big sign sticks up in the air with the name Teriyaki Donut and a graphic of a donut sticking out of a bowl of rice. We enter the exterior of Butch's apartment courtyard. Butch is now in the courtyard of his North Hollywood apartment building. Once again, everything appears normal. The laundry room, the pool, his apartment door, nothing appears disturbed. Butch climbs the stairs leading to his apartment, number 12. He steps outside the door and listens inside. Nothing. Butch slowly inserts the key into the door, quietly opening it. Enter the interior of Butch's apartment. His apartment hasn't been touched. He cautiously steps inside, shuts the door, and takes a quick look around. Obviously, no one is there. Butch walks into his modest kitchen and opens the refrigerator. He takes out a carton of milk and drinks from it. With carton in hand, Butch surveys the apartment. Then he goes to the bedroom. His bedroom is like the rest of the apartment, neat, clean, and anonymous. The only things personal in his room are a few boxing trophies, an Olympic silver medal, a framed issue of Ring magazine with Butch on the cover, and a poster of Jerry Quarry and one of George Chuvalo. Sure enough, there's the watch, just like he said it was, on the bedside table, hanging on his little kangaroo statue. He walks through the apartment and back into the kitchen. He opens a cupboard and takes out a box of Pop-Tarts. Putting down the milk, he opens the box, takes out 2 Pop-Tarts, and puts them in the toaster. Butch glances to his right. His eyes fall on something. What he sees is a small, compact, Czech M61 submachine gun with a huge silencer on it, lying on his kitchen counter. He picks up the intimidating piece of weaponry and examines it. Then, a toilet flushes. Butch looks up to the bathroom door, which is parallel to the kitchen. There's someone behind it. Like a rabbit caught in a radish patch, Butch freezes, not knowing what to do. The bathroom door opens, and Vincent Vega steps out of the bathroom, tightening his belt. In his hand is the book Modesty Blaze by Peter O'Donnell. Vince and Butch lock eyes. Vincent freezes. Butch doesn't move, except to point the M61 in Vincent's direction. Neither man opens his mouth. Then, the toaster loudly kicks up the Pop-Tarts. That's all the situation needed. Butch's finger hits the trigger. Muffled fire shoots out of the end of the gun. Vincent is seemingly racked with 20 bullets simultaneously lifting him off his feet, propelling him through the air, and crashing through the glass shower door at the end of the bathroom. By the time Butch removes his finger from the trigger, Vincent is annihilated. Butch stands frozen, amazed at what just happened. His look goes from the grease spot in the bathroom that was once Vincent down to the powerful piece of artillery in his grip. With the respect it deserves, Butch carefully places the M61 back on the kitchen counter. He wipes down the fingerprints, then exits the apartment quickly. Entered the exterior of the apartment courtyard. Butch, not running, but walking very rapidly, crosses the courtyard, comes out of the apartment building, crosses the street, goes through the alley, and into his car in one steady cam shot. Entered the exterior of the Honda. Butch looks out the window at his former home.
That's how you're gonna beat 'em, Butch. They keep underestimating you.
This makes the boxer laugh out loud. As he laughs, he flips a tape in the cassette player. When the music starts, he sings along with it. He drives by the apartment, but is stopped at the light on the corner across from Teriyaki Donut. Butch is still chuckling, singing along with the song, as we see, through the windshield, the big man himself, Marcellus Wallace, exiting Teriyaki Donut, carrying a box of a dozen donuts and 2 large styrofoam cups of coffee. He steps off the curb, crossing the street in front of Butch's car. This is the first time we see Marcellus clearly. Laughing Boy stops when he sees the big man directly in front of him. When Marcellus is in front of Butch's car, he casually glances to his left, sees Butch, continues walking, then stops. Double take.
Am I really seeing what I'm seeing?
Butch doesn't wait for the big man to answer his own question. He stomps on the gas pedal. The little Honda slams into Marcellus, sending him the donuts and the coffee hitting the pavement at 30 miles an hour. Butch cuts into cross traffic and is broadsided by a gold Camaro Z28, breaking all the windows in the Honda and sending it up on the sidewalk. Butch sits dazed and confused in the crumpled mess of what at one time was Fabian's Honda. Blood flows from his nostrils. The still functional tape player continues to play. A pedestrian pokes his head inside. Jesus, are you okay? Butch looked at him, spaced out.
I guess.
Marcellus Wallace lies sprawled out in the street. Gawkers gather around the body. He's dead! He's dead! Oh, he's most definitely dead. This jerk's yelling makes Marcellus come to. 2 pedestrians help the shaken Butch out of the wreckage. The woozy Marcellus gets to his feet. If you need a witness in court, I'll be glad to help. He was a drunken maniac. He hit you and crashed into that car. Marcellus, still incoherent, asks,
Who?
Him, the Gawker said, pointing at Butch. Marcellus follows the Gawker's finger and sees Butch Coolidge down the street, looking a shambles.
Well, I'll be damned.
The big man takes out a .45 automatic and the Gawkers back away fast. Marcellus starts moving towards Butch. Butch sees the fierce figure making a wobbly beeline toward him.
Sacre bleu!
Marcellus brings up his weapon and fires, but he's so hurt, shaky, and dazed that his arm goes wild. He hits a looky-loo woman in the hip. She falls to the ground, screaming,
Oh my God! I've been shot!
That's all Butch needs to see. He is out of here. Marcellus runs after him. The crowd looks agape. Butch is in a mad, limping run. The big man's hot on his with a cockeyed, wobbly run. Butch cuts across traffic and dashes into a business with a sign that reads Mason-Dixie Pawn Shop. Inside the Mason-Dixie Pawn Shop, Maynard, a hillbilly-looking boy, stands behind the counter of his pawn shop when all of a sudden, chaos in the form of Butch races into his world.
Can I help you with something?
Shut up!
Butch quickly takes measure of the situation, then stands next to the door.
Now you wait just a damn minute!
Before Maynard can finish his threat, Marcellus charges in. He doesn't get past the doorway because Butch lands his fist in Marcellus's face. The gangster's feet go out from under him, and the big man falls flat on his back. Butch pounces on the fallen body, punching him twice more in the face. Butch takes the gun out of Marcellus's hand. Butch then places the barrel of the .45 between his eyes, pulls back the hammer, and places his open hand behind the gun to shield the splatter.
Well, guess what, big man? You caught me! Hold it right there, damn it.
Butch and Marcellus look up at Maynard, who's brandishing a pump-action shotgun aimed at the two men.
Look, mister, this ain't any of your business! I'm making it my business. Now toss that gun.
Butch does.
Now, you on top, stand up and come to the counter.
Butch slowly gets up and moves to the counter. As soon as he gets there, Maynard hauls off, hitting him hard in the face with the butt of the shotgun, knocking Butch down and out. After Butch goes down, Maynard calmly lays the shotgun on the counter and moves to the telephone. Marcellus Wallace, from his position on the floor, groggily watches the pawn shop owner dial a number. Maynard waits on the line while the other end rings. Then it picks up.
Zed, it's Maynard. The spider just caught a couple flies.
Marcellus passes out as we fade to black. We fade up to the pawn shop back room. Butch and Marcellus are tied up in two separate chairs. In their mouths are two S&M style ball gags. A belt goes around their heads and a little red ball sticks in their mouths. Both men are unconscious. Maynard steps in with a fire extinguisher and sprays both guys until they're wide awake and wet as otters. The two prisoners look up at their captors. Maynard stands in front of them, fire extinguisher in one hand, shotgun in the other, and Marcellus's .45 sticking in his belt.
Nobody kills anybody in my place of business except me or Zed.
A buzzer buzzes.
And that's Zed.
Without saying another word, Maynard climbs up the stairs that led to red curtains and goes through them. We hear, on the other side of the curtains, Maynard lets Zed inside the store. Butch and Marcellus look around the room. The basement of the pawn shop has been converted into a dungeon. After taking in their predicament, Butch and Marcellus look at each other. All traces of hostility gone, replaced by a terror they both share at what they've gotten themselves into. Maynard and Zed come through the curtains. Zed is an even more intense version of Maynard, if such a thing is possible. The two hillbillies are obviously brothers. Where Maynard is a vicious pit bull, Zed is a deadly cobra. Zed walks in and stands in front of the two captives. He inspects them for a long time, then says,
You said you waited for me? I did. Then how come they all beat up? They did that to each other. They was fighting when they came in. This one was going to shoot that one. You were going to shoot him? Huh, boy?
Butch makes no reply.
Hey, is Grace going to be okay in front of this place?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, ain't it?
No, it's Thursday.
Then she'll be fine.
Bring out the Gimp.
I think the Gimp's sleeping.
Well, I guess you'll just have to wake him up now, won't you?
Maynard opens a trap door in the floor. Wake up! Maynard reaches into the hole and comes back holding onto a leash. He gives it a rough yank and, from below the floor, rises the Gimp. The Gimp is a man they kept dressed from head to toe in black leather bondage gear. There are zippers, buckles, and studs here and there on the body. On his head is a black leather mask with two eye holes and a zipper closed for a mouth. They keep him in a hole in the floor big enough for a large dog. Zed takes the chair, sits in it in front of the two prisoners, then lowers into it. Maynard hands the Gimp's leash to Zed, then backs away. Down! The Gimp gets on his knees. Maynard hangs back while Zed appraises the two men.
Who's first?
Well, I ain't for sure yet. Then with his little finger, Zed does a silent eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just his mouth mouthing the words as his finger going back and forth between the two. Butch and Marcellus are terrified. Maynard looks back and forth at the victims. The gimp's eyes go from one to the other inside the mask. Zed continues his silent sing-song with his finger moving left to right, then it stops. The two-shot. After a beat, the camera moves to the right, zeroing in on Marcellus. Zed stands up.
Wanna do it here?
Nah, drag Big Boy to Russell's old room. Zed grabs Marcellus's chair and drags him into Russell's old room. Russell, no doubt, was some other poor bastard that has the misfortune of stumbling into the Mason-Dixie pawn shop. Whatever happened to Russell is known only to Maynard and Zed because his old room, a back room in the back of the back room, is empty. As Marcellus is dragged away, he locks eyes with Butch before he disappears behind the door of Russell's old room. Maynard says to the gimp, "Get up." The gimp rises. Maynard ties the gimp's leash to a hook on the ceiling.
Keep an eye on this one.
The gimp bows its head yes. Maynard disappears into Russell's old room. There must be a stereo in there, because suddenly the Judds singing in harmony fills the air. Butch looks at the gimp. The gimp giggles from underneath the mask as if this were the funniest moment in the history of comedy. From behind the door, we hear country music, struggling, and
whoa, this boy's got a bit of a fight in him.
We then hear Maynard and Zed beat on Marcellus.
Oh, you wanna fight? You wanna fight? Good! I like to fight!
Butch pauses, listens to the voices, then in a panic, hurriedly struggles to get free. The gimp is laughing wildly. The ropes are on too tight and Butch can't break free. The gimp slaps his knee, laughing. Then we hear,
"That's it! That's it, boy! You're doing fine! Ooh, just like that! That's good!"
Grunting faster.
"Stay still! Stay still! Damn you! Zed, damn it! Get over here and hold him!"
Butch stops struggling and lifts up on his arms. Then, quite easily, the padded chair backslides up and off as if it were never connected by a bolt. The gimp sees this and its eyes widen. Huh? The gimp flails wildly, trying to get the leash off the hook. He tries to yell, but all that comes out are excited gurgles and grunts. Butch is out of his chair, quickly dispensing 3 boxer's punches to its face. The punches knock the gimp out, making him fall to his knees. This hanging himself by the leash attached to the hook. Butch removes the ball gag, then silently makes his way through the red curtains. Butch sneaks to the door. The interior of the pawn shop. You'll see Butch sneak to the door. On the counter is a big set of keys with a large Z connected to the ring. Grabbing them, he's about to go out when he stops and listens to the hillbilly psychopaths having their way with Marcellus. Butch decides, for the life of him, he can't leave anybody in a situation like that. So he begins rooting around the pawn shop for a weapon to bash those hillbillies' heads in with. He picks up a big destructive-looking hammer, then discards it. Not destructive enough. He picks up a chainsaw, thinks about it for a moment, then puts it back. Next, a large Louisville slugger he tries on for size, but then he spots what he's been looking for, a samurai sword. It hangs in its hand-carved wood sheath from a nail on the wall next to a neon Dad's old-fashioned root beer sign. Butch takes the sword off the wall, removing it from its sheath. It's a magnificent piece of steel. It seemed to glisten in the low wattage light of the pawn shop. Butch touches his thumb to the blade to see if the sword is just for show. Not on your life. It's as sharp as it gets. This weapon seems made to order for the brothers Grimm downstairs. Holding the sword pointed downward, Takakura Ken style, he disappears through the red curtains to take care of business. Back inside the back room, Butch quietly sneaks down the stairs leading to the dungeon. Himras and the Judds can still be heard going behind the closed door that leads to Russell's old room. Inside Russell's old room, Butch's hand comes into frame, pushing the door open. It swings open silently, revealing the Simbras who have switched positions. Zed is now Marcellus, who is a wooden horse. Maynard watches. Both have their backs to Butch. Maynard faces the camera, grinning, while Butch comes up behind him with the sword. Miserable, violated, and looking like a bloody rag doll, Marcellus, red ball gag still in his mouth, opens his watery eyes to see Butch coming up behind Maynard. His eyes widen.
Hey, hillbilly.
Maynard turns and sees Butch holding the sword. Butch screams with one mighty swing, slashes Maynard across the front, moving past him, eyes and blade now locked on Zed. Maynard stands trembling, his front sliced open in shock. Butch, while never taking his eyes off Zed, thrusts the sword behind him, skewering Maynard, then extracts it, pointing the blade towards Zed. Maynard collapses. Zed disengages from Marcellus in a hurry, and his eyes go from the tip of Butch's sword to Marcellus's .45 automatic, which lies within reach. Butch's eyes follow Zed's. You want that gun, Zed, huh? Who'll pick it up? Zed's hand inches towards the weapon. Butch grips the sword tighter. Zed studies Butch. Butch looks hard at Zed. Then a voice says,
Step aside, Butch.
Butch steps aside, revealing Marcellus standing behind him, holding Maynard's pump-action shotgun. Zed is blasted in the groin. Down he goes, screaming in agony. Marcellus, looking down at his whimpering, ejects the used shotgun shell. Butch lowers the sword and hangs back. Not a word until...
You okay?
Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
What now?
What now? Well, let me tell you what now. I'm gonna call a couple pipe-hitting zig and we'll go to work on Holmes here with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. You hear me talking, hillbilly boy? I ain't through with you by a damn sight. I'ma get medieval on you, Sam.
I meant what now between me and you.
Oh, that what now? Well, let me tell you what now between me and you. There is no me and you. Not no more.
So we cool?
Yeah, man. We cool. Two things. Don't tell nobody about this. This between me, you, and his soon-to-be living the rest of his short life in agonizing pain. It ain't nobody's business. Two, you leave town tonight, right now. And when you're gone, you stay gone, or you'll be gone. You lost all your LA privileges, deal?
Deal.
Go on now. Get your out of here.
Butch leaves Russell's old room through the red curtains. Marcellus walks over to a phone, dialing a number. Marcellus, into the phone, says,
Hello, Mr. Wolf. It's Marcellus. Got a bit of a situation.
Butch, still shaking in his boots, exits the pawn shop. He looks ahead and sees, parked in front of the establishment, Zed's big chrome chopper with a teardrop gas tank that has the name Grace on it. He climbs aboard, takes out the keys with the big Z on them, and starts up the huge hog. It rumbles to life, making sounds like a rocket fighting for orbit. Butch twists the accelerator handle and speeds off. We cut back and forth between the interior of Butch and Fabian's hotel room. Fabian stands in front of a mirror wearing a Frankie Says Relax t-shirt, singing along with music coming from a boombox. The exterior of a city street, the chopper, is moving. Butch drives down the street, humping a hot dog named Grace. He checks his father's watch. It says 10:30. The song in the motel room plays over this. Extension, motel room. Butch rides up on Grace. He hops off and runs inside the motel room while we stay outside with the bike.
Butch, I was so worried.
Honey, grab your radio and your purse and let's get the out of here.
But what about all our bags?
The bags. We'll miss our train if we don't get to going now.
Is everything well? Are we in danger?
We're cool. In fact, we're super cool. But we gots to go. I'll wait for you outside.
Butch runs out and hops back on the bike. Fabian exits the motel room with the boombox and a large purse. When she sees Butch on the chopper, she stops dead.
Where did you get this motorcycle?
It's a chopper, baby. Hop on.
Fabian slowly approaches the two-wheeled demon.
What happened to my Honda?
Sorry, baby. I crashed that Honda.
Are you hurt?
I might have broken my nose. No biggie.
She doesn't move. Butch looks at her.
Honey, we gotta hit the fucking road. Come on, we gotta go fucking now. Let's go.
Fabian starts to cry. Butch realizes that this is not the way to get her on the bike. He turns off the engine and he reaches out and takes her hand.
I'm sorry, baby love.
You were gone so long, I started to think dreadful thoughts.
I'm sorry I worried you, sweetie. Everything's fine. Hey, how was your breakfast?
It was good.
Did you get the blueberry pancakes?
No, they didn't have blueberry pancakes, so I had to get buttermilk. Are you sure you're okay?
Baby love, from the moment I left you, this has been, without a doubt, the single weirdest day of my entire life. Climb on, and I'll tell you all about it.
Fabian does climb on. Butch starts her up.
Butch, whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby. That's what it is.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
And with that, the two lovebirds peel away on Grace as the song on the boombox rises. Fade to black. Over black, we can hear in the distance men talking. Fade up to the interior of the bathroom during the day. We're in the bathroom of the Hollywood apartment we were in earlier. In fact, we were there exactly the same time, except this time, we're in the bathroom with the fourth man. The fourth man is pacing around the small room, listening hard to what's being said on the other side of the door, tightly clutching his huge silver .357 Magnum. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger, those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord, when I lay my vengeance upon thee. The fourth man freaks out as he hears shot after shot after shot. He throws himself against the back wall, gun outstretched in front of him, a look of yellow fear on his face, ready to blow in half anybody fool enough to stick their head through that door. Then he listens to them talk. Friend of yours? Yeah, Marvin, Vincent Marvin. Waiting for them isn't the smartest move. Bursting out of the door and blowing them all away while they're fucking around is the way to go. The bathroom door bursts open, and the fourth man charges out, silver magnum raised, firing 6 booming shots from his gun. Die, 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 die! Dolly into the fourth man, same as before. He screams until he's dry firing. Then a look of confusion crosses his face. 2 shot, Jules and Vincent, standing next to each other unharmed. Amazing as it seems, none of the fourth man's shots appeared to have hit anybody. Jules and Vincent exchange looks like, are we hit? They're as confused as the shooter. After looking at each other, they bring their looks up to the fourth man. The fourth man is taken out of the scenario by the two men's bullets, who, unlike his, hit their marks. He drops dead. The two men lower their guns. Jules, obviously shaken, sits down in a chair. Vincent, after a moment of respect, shrugs it off, then heads toward Marvin in the corner. Why the f*** didn't you tell us about that guy in the bathroom? Slip your mind? Forget he was in there with a damn hand cannon? We should be fucking dead right now. Did you see that gun he fired at us? It was bigger than him. 357. We should be fucking dead. Yeah, we were lucky. Jules rises, moving toward Vincent. That shit wasn't luck. That shit was something else. Vincent prepares to leave. Yeah, maybe. That was divine intervention. Do you know what divine intervention is? Yeah, I think so. That means God came down from heaven and stopped the bullets? Yeah, man, that's exactly what it means. God came down from heaven and stopped these motherfucking bullets. I think we should be going now. Don't do that. Don't you fucking do that. Don't you blow this shit off. What just happened was a fucking miracle. Chill the fuck out, Jules. Shit just happens. Wrong. Wrong. This doesn't just happen. Do you want to continue this theological discussion in the car or at the jailhouse with the cops? We should be fucking dead, my friend. We just witnessed a fucking miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it. Okay, man. Okay, it was a miracle. Can we go now? Cut to the exterior of the Hollywood apartment building. The Chevy Nova propels itself into traffic. The interior of the Chevy Nova, Jules is behind the wheel, Vincent in the passenger seat, and Marvin in the back. Ever seen that show, Cops? I was watching it once, and this cop was talking about how he got into it with this guy. A gunfight, him and this guy. They didn't hit anything. It's freaky, but it happens. You want to play blind man, then go walk with the shepherd. But me, my eyes are wide fucking open. What the f*** does that even mean? That's it for me. From here on in, you can consider my retired. Jesus Christ, don't blaspheme. Damn it, Jules. I said don't do that. You're freaking out, man. I'm telling Marcellus today I'm through. And while you at it, be sure to tell him why. Don't worry, I will. I'll bet you $10,000 he laughs his ass off. I don't give a damn if he does. Vincent turns to the back seat with the .45 casually in his grip. Now, Marvin, what do you make of all this? I don't even have an opinion. Well, you gotta have an opinion. Do you think God came down from heaven and stopped the bullets? Vincent's .45 goes bang. Marvin is hit in the upper chest below the throat. He gurgles blood and shakes. What the f*** was that? Oh man, I accidentally shot Marvin in the throat. Why the f*** did you do that? I didn't mean to do it. I said it was an accident. Man, I've seen a lot of crazy shit in my time, man. Chill out, man. It was an accident, okay? You must have hit a bump or something and the gun went off. The car didn't hit no motherfucking bump. The f*** what you doing with a gun in your hand anyway? Look, I ain't mean to shoot the son of a... The gun just went off. Don't ask me how. Look at this mess. We're driving around in the city in broad daylight over here. I know. I wasn't thinking about the splatter. Well, you better be thinking about it now, motherfucker. We gotta get this shit off the road. Cops tend to know this shit like you're driving a car drenched in fucking blood. Can't we just take it to a friendly place? This is the valley, Vincent. Marcellus ain't got no friendly places in the valley. Well, this ain't my fucking town, man. Shit. Jules takes out his cellular phone and starts punching digits. Who you calling? A buddy of mine in Toluca Lake. Where's Toluca Lake? On the other side of the hill by Burbank Studios. If Jimmy ain't home, I don't know what the f*** we're gonna do. I ain't got no other partners in 818. Jimmy, how you doing, man? It's Jules. Listen up, man. Me and my homeboy are in some serious shit. We're in the car and we gotta get off the road pronto. I need to use your garage for a couple of hours. Cut to the interior of Jimmy's bathroom. Jules is bent over a sink washing his bloody hands while Vincent stands behind him. We gotta be real fucking delicate with this Jimmy situation. He's one remark away from kicking our ass out the door. If he kicks us out, what do we do? Well, we ain't leaving till we make a couple phone calls, but I never wanted to reach that pitch. Jimmy's my friend, and you don't bust in your friend's house and start telling him what's what. Jules rises and dries his hands. Vincent takes his place at the sink. Just tell him not to be abusive. He kind of freaked out back there when he saw Marvin. Well, put yourself in his position. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. He just woke up. He wasn't prepared for this shit. Don't forget who's doing who a favor over here. Vincent finishes, then dries his hands on a white towel. If the price of that favor is I gotta take shit from him, he can stick that favor straight up his When Vincent is finished drying his hands, the towel is stained with red. Man, fuck it, just do to his towel. I was just drying my hands. You supposed to wash them first. You watched me wash them. I watched you get them wet. I washed them, man. Blood's real hard to get off. Maybe I had some Lifebuoy or lava or something. I could have done a better job. I used the same soap you did, and when I dried my hands, the towel didn't look like a fucking maxi pad. Looking shit like this, it's gonna bring the situation to a head, man. Look, I ain't threatening you or nothing, alright? I respect you and all, but just don't put me in these positions. Jules, you ask me nice like that? No problem. Go ahead, he's your friend. You handle him. Cut to the interior of Jimmy's kitchen. 3 men are standing in Jimmy's kitchen, each with a mug of coffee. Jules, Vincent, and Jimmy Dimmick, a young man in his late 20s, dressed in a bathrobe. Damn, Jimmy, this is some serious gourmet-ish. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice. You springing this gourmet shit on us. What flavor is this?
Knock it off, Julie.
What?
I'm not a cob of corn, so you can stop buttering me up. I don't need you to tell me how good my coffee is. I'm the one who buys it. I know how fucking good it is. When Bonnie goes shopping, she buys shit. I buy the gourmet expensive stuff because when I drink it, I want to taste it.
But what's on my mind at this moment isn't the coffee in my kitchen. It's the dead in my garage. Jimmy?
I'm talking now. Let me ask you a question, Jules. When you drove in here, did you notice a sign out front that said that storage?
Jimmy,
answer the fucking question. Did you see a sign in front of my house that said dead storage?
Nah, man, I didn't.
You know why you didn't see that sign?
Why?
'Cause storing dead ain't my fucking business.
Jimmy,
I ain't through. Now, don't you understand that if Bonnie comes home and finds a dead body in her house, I'm gonna get divorced? No marriage counselor, no child separation. I'm divorced. I don't want to get fucking divorced. The last time me and Bonnie talked about divorce, this was going to be the last time me and Bonnie talked about this. Now, I want to help you guys out, Julie. I really do. But I ain't going to lose my wife doing it.
Jimmy.
Don't fucking Jimmy me, man. I can't be Jimmied. There's nothing you can say that's going to make me forget I love my wife, is there? Now she's working the graveyard shift at the hospital. She'll be coming home in less than an hour and a half. You want to make some phone calls? You want to talk to your people? Then do it! Then get the fuck out my house before she comes back.
That's all we want, Jimmy. We don't want to fuck your shit up.
Talking about somebody go figure somebody go fuck now. Get a first hit, but it's for big time when Bonnie comes home. There's a phone in my bedroom. I suggest you get to it.
Enter the interior of Marcellus Wallace's dining room. Marcellus Wallace sits at his dining table in a big comfy robe, eating his large breakfast while talking on the phone.
Well, say she comes home. What do you think she'll do? Oh no, this shit her fun, she'll freak. That ain't no kind of answer. You know her, I don't. How bad, a lot or a little?
Inside the interior of Jimmy's bedroom, Jules paces around on the phone. You've got to appreciate what an explosive element this Bonnie situation is. If she comes home from a hard day's work and finds a bunch of gangsters doing a bunch of gangster shit, ain't no telling what she's apt to do.
I've grasped that, Jules. All I'm doing is contemplating the ifs.
I don't want to hear no more ifs. What I want to hear from yo is, you ain't got no problem, Jules. I'm on the motherfucker. Go back in there, chill out, and wait for the cavalry, which should be coming directly.
You ain't got no problem, Jules. I'm on the for them. Go back in there, chill them out, and wait for the wolf, who should be coming directly.
You sending the wolf?
Feel better now, off the mic.
That's all you had to say. Enter the interior of the hotel suite. The camera looks through the bedroom doorway of a hotel suite into the main area. We see a crap game being played on a fancy crap table by gamblers in tuxedos and lucky ladies in fancy evening gowns. The camera pans to the right, revealing, sitting on the bed, phone in hand with his back to us, the tuxedo-clad Winston Wolf, a.k.a. The Wolf. We also see the Wolf has a small notepad that he jots details in. Is she the hysterical type? When's she due? Give me the principals' names again. Jules. We see his book. The page has written on it, 1265 Riverside Drive, Toluca Lake. One body equals no head. bloody shot up car. Jules equals black.
Vincent, Jimmy, Bonnie.
He writes Vincent equals white, Jimmy equals house, Bonnie equals 9:30.
Expect the call around 10:30. It's about 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
He hangs up. We never see his face. Cut to a title card over black. 9 minutes and 37 seconds later. Cut to the exterior of Jimmy's house. A silver Porsche whips the corner leading to Jimmy's home in hyperdrive. Easily doing 135 miles per hour, the Porsche stops on a dime in front of Jimmy's house. A ringed finger touches the doorbell. Jimmy opens the door. We see, standing in the doorway, the tuxedo-clad man. He looks down to his notebook, then up at Jimmy. You're Jimmy, right? This is your house.
Yeah.
The wolf sticks his hand out. I'm Winston Wolf. I solve problems.
Good, 'cause we got one.
So I heard. May I come in?
Please do.
In the dining room, Jules and Vincent stand up. You must be Jules, which will make you Vincent. Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
Oh, 100%.
Your wife, Bonnie, referring to his pad, comes home at 9:30 in the a.m. Is that correct? Uh-huh, absolutely right. I was led to believe if she comes home and finds us here, she wouldn't appreciate it none too much.
She won't at that.
That gives us 40 minutes to get the fuck out of Dodge, which, if you do what I say when I say it, should be plenty. Now, you got a corpse in the car, minus a head in the garage. Take me to it. Enter the interior of Jimmy's garage. The three men hang back as the wolf examines the car. He studies the car in silence, opening the door, looking inside, circling it.
Jimmy. Yes. Do me a favor, will you? Thought I smelled some coffee in there. Would you make me a cup? Sure, how you take it? Lots of cream, lots of sugar.
Jimmy exits. The wolf continues his examination.
About the car, is there anything I need to know? Does it stall? Does it make a lot of noise? Does it smoke? Is there gas in it? Anything?
Aside from how it looks, the car is cool.
Positive? Don't get me out there on the road and I find out the brake lights don't work.
Hey man, as far as I know, the motherfucker's tip-top.
Good enough. Let's go back to the kitchen.
Enter the interior of the kitchen. Jimmy hands the wolf a cup of coffee.
Thank you, Jimmy.
He takes a sip, nods his head at Jimmy as to how good the coffee is, then, pacing as he thinks, lays out for the three men the plan of action.
Okay, first thing, you two,
meaning Jules and Vincent.
take the body, stick it in the trunk. Now, Jimmy, this looks to be a pretty domesticated house. This will lead me to believe that in the garage or under the sink, you got a bunch of cleansers and cleaners.
Yeah, exactly, under the sink.
Good. What I need you two fellas to do is to take those cleaning products and clean the inside of the car. I'm talking fast, fast, fast. You need to go in the back seat, scoop up all those little pieces of brain and skull. Get it out of there. Wipe down the upholstery. Now, when it comes to the upholstery, don't need to be spick and span. You don't need to eat off it. Give it a good once over. What you need to do is take care of the really messy parts. The pools of blood that have collected, you gotta soak that shit up. But the windows are a different story. Them, you really clean. Get the Windex, do a good job. Now, Jimmy, we need to raid your linen closet. I need blankets, quilts, comforters, bedspreads. The thicker the better, the darker the better. No whites, can't use them. We need to camouflage the interior of the car. I'm gonna line the front seat and the back seat and the floorboards with quilts and blankets. If a cop stops us and starts sticking his big snout in the car, the subterfuge won't last. But at a glance, the car will appear to be normal. Jimmy, lead the way. Boys, get to work.
The wolf and Jimmy turn, heading for the bedroom, leaving Vincent and Jules standing in the kitchen. Vincent, calling after the wolf, says, "A please will be nice." The wolf stops and turns around. Jules lowers his head.
Come again?
I said a please will be nice. The wolf takes a step towards him.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell her what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better fucking do it and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, lots of luck, gentlemen.
No. It ain't that way, Mr. Wolf. Your help is definitely appreciated. I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't like people barking orders at me, that's all.
If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you two to act fast if you guys want to get out of this. So pretty please, with sugar on top, clean the fucking car.
Cut to the interior of Jimmy's bedroom. Jimmy's gathering up all the bedspreads, quilts, and linen he has. The wolf is on the phone.
It's a 1974 Chevy Nova. White. Nothing except for the mess inside. About 20 minutes. Nobody whom he missed. You're a good man, Joe. See you soon.
The wolf then looks at Jimmy.
How we coming, Jimmy?
Jimmy comes over with a handful of linen.
Mr. Wolf, you gotta understand something.
Please, Jimmy Winston.
You gotta understand something, Winston. I want to help you guys out and all, but this is my best linen. It was a wedding present from my Uncle Conrad and Aunt Ginny, and they ain't with us anymore.
Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Were your Uncle Conrad and Aunt Ginny millionaires?
No.
Well, your Uncle Marcellus is. And I'm positive your Uncle Conrad and Aunt Ginny were millionaires. They would have furnished you with a whole bedroom set, which your Uncle Marcellus is more than happy to do.
The wolf takes out a roll of bills.
I like oak myself. That's what's in my bedroom. How about you, Jimmy? You an oak man? Oak's nice.
Enter the interior of the garage. Both Jules and Vincent are inside the car cleaning it up. Vincent is in the front seat washing windows while Jules is in the back seat picking up little pieces of skull and gobs of brain. Both are twice as bloody as they were before.
I will never forgive you for this shit. This is some f***ed up repugnant shit. Did you ever hear the philosophy that once a man admits he's wrong, he's immediately forgiven for all wrongdoings? Man, get the f*** out of here with that shit. The motherfucker who said that shit never had to pick up itty-bitty pieces of skull with his fingers on account of your dumb. I got a threshold, Jules. I got a threshold, Jules. I got a threshold for all the abuse I'll take, and you're crossing it. I'm a race car, and you got me in the red. Red line 7,000. That's where you are. Just know it's fucking dangerous to be driving a race car when it's in the red. I can blow. Oh, you ready to blow? Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying every time my fingers touch brain, I'm Superfly TNT. I'm the guns of the Navarone. I'm what Jimmy Walker used to talk about. In fact, what the am I doing here in the back? You're the motherfucker that should be on brain detail. We're trading. I'm washing the windows, and you picking up this motherfucker's skull.
Enter the interior of the Chevy Nova. The interior of the car has been cleaned and lined with bedspreads and quilts. Believe it or not, what looked like a portable slaughterhouse can actually pass for a nondescript vehicle. The wolf circles the car, examining it. Jules and Vincent stand aside. Their clothes are literally a bloody mess, but they do have a sense of pride in what a good job they've done.
Fine job, gentlemen. We may get out of this yet.
I can't believe this is the same car.
Well, let's not start quite yet. Phase 1 is complete, cleaning the car, which moves us right to Phase 2, cleaning you two. Cut to the exterior of Jimmy's backyard. Jules and Vincent stand side by side in their black suits covered in blood in Jimmy's backyard. Jimmy holds a plastic hefty trash bag while the wolf holds a garden hose with one of those gun nozzles attached. Strip all the way to your bare. As they follow directions, the wolf enjoys a smoke. Quickly, gentlemen, we got about 15 minutes before Jimmy's better half comes pulling into the driveway. God, this morning air is some chilly-ish. Are you sure this is absolutely necessary? You guys know what you two look like. What? Like a couple of guys who just blew off someone's head. Yes, stripping off those bloody rags is absolutely necessary. Toss the clothes in Jim's garbage bag.
Now, Jimmy, don't you do nothing stupid like putting that garbage bag in front of your house for Otto the garbage man to take away.
Don't worry, we're taking it with us. Jim, pass him the soap.
He hands the now naked man each a bar of soap.
Okay, gentlemen, you've both been to county before, I'm sure. Here it comes.
Wolf hits the trigger, water shoots out.
Damn, that water's fucking cold! Better you than me, gentlemen.
The two men, trembling, scrub themselves with the soap.
Don't be afraid of the soap. Spread it around.
The wolf keeps on spraying as the guys spread the soap around. The wolf finishes, hosing them down, tossing it to the ground.
All right, Jimmy, towel them.
Jimmy tosses them each a towel, which they rub furiously across their bodies.
They're dry enough. Give them their clothes.
Fade to black. Fade back up on Jules and Vincent in their t-shirts and swim trunks. They look a million miles away from the black-suited badasses we first met.
Perfect. Perfect. We couldn't have planned this better. You guys look like... What do they look like, Jimmy? Dorks. They look like dorks.
The wolf and Jimmy laugh. Ha ha ha, they're your clothes, motherfucker.
I guess you just gotta know how to wear them.
Yeah, well, our ain't the expert on wearing dorky shit that your is.
Come on, gentlemen. We're laughing and joking our way into prison. Don't make me beg.
Cut to the interior of Jimmy's garage. Garage bag is tossed in the car trunk on top of Marvin. The wolf slams it closed.
All right, gentlemen, let's get our rules of the road straight. We're going to a place called Monster Joe's Truck and Tow. Monster Joe and his daughter Raquel are sympathetic to our dilemma. The place is North Hollywood, so a few twists and turns aside, we'll be going up Hollywood way. Now, I'll drive the Tainton car. Jules, you ride with me. Vincent, you follow in my Porsche. Now, if we come across the path of any John Q. laws, nobody does a fucking thing till I do something.
Wolf turns to Jules.
What did I say?
Don't do shit.
Unless what? Unless you do it first. Spoken like a true prodigy.
The wolf turns to Vincent.
How about you, Lash LaRue? Can you keep your spurs from jingling and jangling?
I'm cool, Mr. Wolf. My gun just went off, that's all.
Fair enough.
He throws Vince his keys.
I drive real fucking fast, so keep up. If I get my car back any different than I gave it, Monster Joe's gonna be disposing of 2 bodies.
Cut to the exterior of Monster Joe's Truck and Tow. Jules and Vincent wait by Winston's Porsche. We cool?
Like it never happened. Jules and Vincent bump fists. Boys, this here's Raquel. Someday all this will be hers.
Hi. You know, if they ever do I Spy the motion picture, you guys will be great. What's with the outfits? You guys going to a volleyball game or something?
Winston laughs. The boys groan.
I'm taking Milady out to breakfast. Maybe I could drop you 2 off. Where do you live?
Redondo Beach, Inglewood. Winston pantomimes like he's in a dead zone trance.
It's your future. I see. A cab ride. Sorry, guys. Move out of the sticks. Say goodbye, Raquel.
Goodbye, Raquel.
I see you 2 around. And stay out of trouble, you crazy kids.
Winston turns to leave, but Jules says, Mr. Wolf. He turns around. It was a pleasure watching you work. The wolf smiles.
Call me Winston.
He turns and banters with Raquel as they get in the Porsche. You hear that, young lady? Respect. Respect for one's elders shows character.
I have character.
Just because you are a character doesn't mean you have character. The Porsche shoots off down the road. The 2 men, left alone, look at each other. Want to share a cab? You know I could go for some breakfast. Want to have breakfast with me? Sure. Jules and Vincent sit at a booth. In front of Vincent is a big stack of potatoes and sausages, which he eats with gusto. Jules, on the other hand, just has a cup of coffee and a muffin. He seems far away in thought. The waitress pours a refill for both of them. Hey, thanks a bunch. Vincent turns to Jules, who's nursing his coffee. Want a sausage? Nah, I don't eat pork. Are you Jewish? I ain't Jewish, man. I just don't dig on swine. Why not? They're filthy animals. I don't eat filthy animals. But bacon tastes good. Pork chops taste good. A sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie. I'll never know it, because even if it did, I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfucker. Pigs sleep and root in their own shit. That's a filthy animal. I don't want to eat nothing that ain't got enough sense to disregard its own feces. How about dogs? Dogs eat their own feces. I don't eat dog either. Yes, but do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal? I wouldn't go so far as to call a dog filthy, but they're definitely dirty. But a dog's got personality, and personality goes a long way. So by that rationale, if a pig had a better personality, he ceases to be a filthy animal? We'd have to be talking about one charming motherfucking pig. He'd have to be the Cary Grant of pigs, just like that Arnold in Green Acres. The 2 men laugh. Good for you. Lighten up a little. You've been sitting there all quiet and stuff. I just been sitting here thinking. About what? About the miracle we just witnessed. The miracle you witnessed. I witnessed a freak occurrence. Do you know what a miracle is? An act of God? And what's an act of God? I guess it's when God makes the impossible possible. And I'm sorry, Jules, but I don't think what happened this morning qualifies. Don't you see, Vince? That don't matter. You're judging this thing the wrong way. It's not about what. It could be God stopped the bullets, he changed Coke into Pepsi, he found my fucking car keys. You don't judge shit like this based on merit. Whether or not what we experienced was in accordance to Hoyle miracle is insignificant.
What is significant is I felt the touch of God. God got involved. But why? See, that's what's f***ing with me. I don't know why, but I can't go back to sleep. So you dead serious about Quentin? The life? Yeah, most definitely. Vince takes a bite of food. Jules takes a sip of coffee. In the background, Garçon, coffee! We recognize the patron to be Pumpkin from the first scene of Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. So if you're Quentin alive, what will you do? That's what I've been sitting here contemplating. First, I'm going to deliver this case to Marcellus. Then, basically, I'm just going to walk the earth. What do you mean, walk the earth? You know, like Kane in Kung Fu. Just walk from town to town, meet people, get in adventures. How long do you intend to walk the earth? Until God puts me where he wants me to be. And what if he never does? If it takes forever, then I'll walk forever. So you decided to be a bum. I'll just be Jules, Vincent. No more, no less. No, Jules. You're gonna be like those pieces of shit out there who beg for change. They walk around like a bunch of fucking zombies. They sleep in garbage bins, dumpsters. They eat what I throw away, and dogs spit on them. They got a word for them. They're called bums. And without a job, residence, or legal tender, that's what you're gonna fucking be, a fucking bum. Look, my friend, this is just where you and I differ. Jules, what happened was peculiar, no doubt about it. But it wasn't water into wine. All shapes and sizes, Vince. Stop fucking talking to me like that. If you find my answers frightening, Vincent, you should cease asking scary questions. I gotta take a shit. To be continued. Vincent exits for the restroom. Jules, alone, takes a mouthful of muffin, then Pumpkin and Honey Bunny rise with guns raised. Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fear me off for your move! I'll execute every one of you motherfuckers! Got that?
Jules looks up, not believing what he's seeing. Under the table, Jules's hand goes to his .45 automatic. He pulls it out, cocking it. Customer stay seated! Waitresses on the floor!
Now means now! Do it or die! Do it or die!
Like lightning, Pumpkin moves over to the kitchen while Honey Bunny screams out threats to the patrons, keeping them terrified. You Mexicans in the kitchen! Get out of here! Hasta luego! 3 cooks and 2 busboys run out of the kitchen. On the floor! Comprende? Oh, they comprende. The portly manager speaks up. I'm the manager here. There's no problem. No problem at all. Pumpkin heads his way. You going to give me a problem? He reaches him and sticks the barrel of his gun hard in the manager's neck. Did you say you was going to give me a problem? No, I'm not. I'm not going to give you any problem. I don't know, Honey Bunny. He looks like the hero type to me.
Well then, execute him!
The patrons scream. Jules watches all of this silently, his hand tightly gripping the .45 automatic under the table. Please don't! I'm not a hero! I'm just the coffee shop manager! Take anything you want! Tell everyone to cooperate and it'll all be over! Everybody just be calm and cooperate! And this will all be over in a minute! Well done, fat guy! Now get your sound off the ground! Cut to the interior of the coffee shop bathroom. Vincent, on the toilet, oblivious to the pandemonium outside, reads his Modesty Blaze book. Cut to the interior of the coffee shop. Cash register drawer opens. Pumpkin stuffs the money from the till in his pocket, then walks from behind the counter with a trash bag in his hand. Okay, people! I'm going to go round and collect your wallets! Don't talk! Just toss them in the bag or we clear! I said, are we fucking clear? Pumpkin goes around collecting wallets. Jules sits with his .45 ready to spit under the table. Pumpkin sees Jules sitting in his booth, holding his wallet, briefcase next to him. Pumpkin crosses to him, his tone more respectful, his manner more on guard. In the back, Jules drops his wallet in the bag. Using his gun as a pointer, Pumpkin points to the briefcase. What's in the briefcase? My boss's dirty laundry. Your boss makes me do his laundry when he wants it clean. Sounds like a shit job. Funny, I've been thinking the same thing. Open it up. Jules' free hand lays palm flat on the briefcase. Afraid I can't do that. Pumpkin is definitely surprised by his answer. He aims the gun right in the middle of Jules' face and pulls back the hammer. Oh, I didn't hear you. Yes, you did. This exchange has been kind of quiet. Not everybody heard it, but Honey Bunny senses something wrong.
What's going on?
Honey, we have a vigilante in our midst.
Shoot him in the fucking face!
I don't mean to shatter your ego, but this ain't the first time I had a gun pointed at me. You don't open up that case, it's gonna be your last. Quit causing problems, you'll get us all killed. Shut the f*** up, fat man! This ain't none of your business! I'm counting to 3, and if your hand ain't off that case, I'm gonna unload right in your f***ing face. 1, 2, 3, you win. Jules raises his hand off the briefcase. It's all yours, Ringo. Open it. Jules flips the locks and opens the case, revealing it to Pumpkin, but not to us. The same light shines from the case. Pumpkin's expression goes to amazement. Honey Bunny, across the room, can't see shit.
What is it?
Is that what I think it is? Jules nods his head yes. It's beautiful. Jules nods his head yes.
Damn it, what is it?
Jules slams the case closed, then sits back as if offering the case to Pumpkin. Pumpkin, one big smile, bends over to pick up the case. Like a rattlesnake, Jules' free hand grabs the wrist of Pumpkin's gun hand, slamming it on the table. His other hand comes from under the table and sticks the barrel of his .45 under Pumpkin's chin. Honey Bunny freaks out, waving her gun in Jules' direction.
Let him go! Let him go! I'll blow your head off! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! You're gonna fucking die! You're gonna fucking die! Bye!
Jules to Pumpkin. Tell that to be cool! Say be cool! You better say it! Tell her be cool! Chill out, honey!
Let him go!
Tell her it's gonna be okay! It's gonna be okay! Promise her! Or promise! Tell her to chill! Chill, honey bunny! Just chill out! What's her name? Yolanda. Whenever Jules talks to Yolanda, he never looks at her, only at Pumpkin. We cool, Yolanda? We ain't gonna do anything stupid, are we?
Don't you hurt him!
Nobody's gonna hurt anybody! We're gonna be 3 little Fonzies! And what's Fonzie like? No answer. Come on, Yolanda, what's Fonzie like? Yolanda, through tears and unsure, utters,
He's cool?
Correctamundo! And that's what we're gonna be! We're gonna be cool. Now, Ringo, I'm gonna count to 3. And I want you to let go of your gun and lay your palms flat on the table. But when you do it cool. Are you ready? Pumpkin looks at him. 1, 2, 3. Pumpkin lets go of his gun and places both hands on the table. Yolanda can't stand it anymore.
Okay, now let him go!
Yolanda, I thought you were going to be cool. Now, when you yell at me, it makes me nervous. When I get nervous, I get scared. And when most of them scared, that's when half of them accidentally get shot.
Just know, you hurt him, you die.
Well, that seems to be the situation. Now, I don't want that. And you don't want that. And Ringo here definitely doesn't want that. So let's see what we can do. Now, here's the situation. Normally, both of your funky will be dead as fried chicken, but you happen to pull this shit while I'm in a transitional period. I don't want to kill you. I want to help you. But I'm afraid I cannot give you this case because it don't belong to me. Besides, I went through too much this morning on account of this case to just hand it over to your dumb. Whoa, Vincent, wait! Yolanda whips her gun towards the stranger. Vincent, by the bathroom, has his gun out, dead aimed at Yolanda. It's cool, Vincent! It's cool! Don't do a damn thing! Yolanda! It's cool, baby! Nothing's changed! Point the gun back at me! Point the gun back at me! We're still just talking! Ringo! Tell her we're still cool! It's cool, honey bunny. Vincent, with his gun raised, asks, What the hell's going on, Jules? Nothing I can't handle, Vincent. I just want you to hang back and don't do Check. Yolanda, how we doing, baby?
I gotta go pee. I want to go home.
Just hang in there, baby. You're doing great. Ringo's proud of you. And so am I. It's almost over. Now, Ringo, I want you to go in that bag and find my wallet. Which one is it? It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it. Pumpkin looks in the bag, and sure enough, there's a wallet with bad motherfucker embroidered on it. Yeah, there we are. That's my bad motherfucker. Now open it up and take out the cash. How much is there? Pumpkin counts the money. About $1,500. Put it in your pocket. It's yours. Now, with the rest of them wallets and the register, that makes this a pretty successful little score. Jules, if you give this Nimrod $1,500, I'm gonna shoot him on general principle. Wait a minute, you're not gonna do a damn thing. Now hang back and shut the up!
Shut up!
Yolanda, point the gun back at me. I ain't giving it to him, Vincent. I'm buying something for my money. You wanna know what I'm buying, Ringo? What? Your life. I'm giving you that money so I don't have to kill you. You read the Bible, Ringo? Not regularly, no. This is passage I got memorized. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger to those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. I've been saying that shit for years. And if you heard it, it meant your... I never really gave much thought to what it meant. I just thought it was some cold-blooded shit to say to a motherfucker before you pop the cap. But I saw some shit this morning that made me think twice. Now I'm thinking, it could mean you're the evil man and I'm the righteous man. And Mr. 45 here, he's the shepherd protecting my righteous in the valley of darkness. Or it could be you're the righteous man and I'm the shepherd and it's the world that's evil and selfish. I'd like that. But that ain't the truth. The truth is, you're the weak and I'm the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be a shepherd. Jules lowers his gun, laying it on the table. Pumpkin looks at him, to the money in his hand, then to Yolanda. She looks back. Grabbing the trash bag full of wallets, the two run out the door. Jules, who has never risen from his seat the whole time, takes a sip of coffee. It's cold. He pushes the coffee to his side. Vincent appears next to Jules. I think we ought to leave now. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Vincent throws some money on the table and Jules grabs the briefcase. Then, to the amazement of the patrons, the waitresses, the cooks, the busboys, and the manager, these two badass dudes wearing UC Santa Cruz and I'm with stupid t-shirts, swim trunks, and packing .45 automatics walk out of the coffee shop together without saying a word. Fade out.